Good afternoon, everybody. How many people have joined? Only three people. Mahak, Arjun, Yash.
Afternoon, sir.
Yeah. Where are others? Five people have joined. Anybody has got any question before others join? Any one of you? Any question by anybody? All of you open your camera. All of you. Mahak, Yash, Farhan, Parth, all of you. Any question by anybody?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
In one of the notes which we were showing regarding real estate, it
Hmm.
said that real estate can be either purchased in, invested in physical form, as in a physical real estate, and in financial form. So I did not understand how you can invest in real
Physical
estate
form
and
means physical
financial
form.
form.
Let's say you are buying a land or a flat or a commercial. So that's physical, you know it. There is another is REITs, Real Estate Investment Trust. Is it clear? So that is in a financial form.
Okay, sir.
So we have got REITs. We are going to talk today about that. Okay, Arjun? Any other question? So today we are going to cover REITs. Any other question? Only 10 people have joined by now. Everybody, please open your camera. Because what happens if people are not going to open their camera, then others also think better to close it. All of you. Mahak, please open your camera. Smriti, please open your camera. Farhan, Gopal, Kishan, all of you open your camera. All of you. So anybody has got any other question? No question. I told all of you should log in at least 10 minutes before the class. Now today since the class has got changed, rescheduled, so maybe yes, maybe some people have logged in late. But from tomorrow, please by 3:50, all of you should log in. Make sure. And all of you be before your laptop, desktop by 4. Is it clear? 3:50 तक log in कर ले, and then before that you have to be there. Even if you are drinking tea also doesn't matter. चाय पियो, कॉफी पियो, खाना खाओ, सब चलता है. Is it clear? हाँ, धीरे धीरे खाना दिखा के मत खाना, वरना फिर बाकी लोग को भी भूख लग जाएगी. हाँ, तो कोल्ड ड्रिंक पीजिए, कॉफी पीजिए, चाय पीजिए. इसके अलावा और कोई ड्रिंक अलाउड नहीं है. सो ऑनलाइन क्लास. So how many people have joined? 18. Oh my God. Anybody has got any question? Anybody wants to ask any question before the others join? Because we have to wait for some others also to join. That's why I said at least 10 minutes before. So that because this is what is the problem. Because if you are going to join late, this will happen. All of you open your camera. Let me not repeat it again and again. All of you open your camera. Vanshika, Rajiv, all of you, please open your camera. There are many people who have not opened their camera. Please. Farhan, Rajiv, Vanshika, please open your camera. Open your camera. Chalo, since people are joining slowly, let's wait for a few more minutes. But I want to know from any one of you what has been the learning from the first class. Any one of you? चलो मैं ही फिर पूछूंगा. Yash, what has been the learning
Yes, sir.
up till now? We had only one class. Yes, Smriti. Let
So,
Smriti answer. Because Smriti is raising her hand. Yes, Smriti.
We have to manage risk.
You have to manage risk. But risk of what? Smriti, बहुत सारे रिस्क हैं. So risk of what?
Investment risk.
Yes, absolutely you are right. Because we
various
have got
types
so
of
many
risk,
risks.
like interest risk,
Hello?
credit risk, inflation risk, liquidity risk.
So those are the part of investment risk. इसके अलावा और क्या सीखे आप लोग?
Sure, we should invest on if we want to invest for short term, then we
Speak
should
louder यार.
invest in
आवाज आपकी आप लोग की कम आती है. थोड़ा जोर से बोलिए. हाँ.
uh,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
if we want to invest in short term, then we should be invest on debts, and for the long term, we should be invest on equity and mutual funds.
Good. Parth, you want to say something?
सर द लर्निंग वॉज कि आप कहीं भी चले जाओ लाइफ में रिस्क तो साथ आएगा ही आएगा, चाहे हिमालय पे चले जाओ तो वहां पे भी रिस्क है,
बहुत अच्छी बात है. देखो ये रिस्क से भाग नहीं सकते आप.
भाग नहीं सकते।
जब तक जिंदगी है तब तक रिस्क है.
और
ये बात ध्यान
दूसरी
रखो.
और
हाँ.
दूसरी चीज
Because what will happen tomorrow, you will find many people saying to you, or suggest something which has got no risk. तो बोल देना भैया ऐसा कुछ नहीं है.
आज की क्लास में ही हुआ है। आज की जो
या
पहली क्लास हुई थी वो पर्सनल फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट, उसमें यही चीजें हो रही थी आज, और उसी चीज का ही
अच्छा.
पैशन चल रहा था।
हाँ. रिस्क के बगैर है ही नहीं कुछ यार. हमें
तो
बिकॉज देखो
दूसरी
रिस्क कहाँ से आता है. प्लीज आप एक बात समझो.
हम्म,
अगर सारे लोग बहुत अच्छे होते, सारे लोग एकदम बिल्कुल सही डिसीजन लेते, तब तो रिस्क ही नहीं होता. बट दैट्स नॉट द रियलिटी. Some people are greedy, some people are fearful, some people are ignorant. Is it or not? Some people are more knowledgeable. That's the reality ना.
जी सर।
तो रिस्क तो आपको वहीं से आ गया. अगर सारे लोग वाइज होते,
हम्म,
जैसे हम सुनते हैं ना सतयुग में,
हम्म,
तो सतयुग में रिस्क ही नहीं था. पर उस समय भी दानव होते थे. तो
right,
read, हाँ, उस समय भी थे,
right,
दैत्य थे, दानव थे. तो
right,
आप, आई मीन, इवन इफ यू, आई मीन, गो बैक टू हिस्ट्रीज, आई डोंट नो,
हम्म,
यू विल फाइंड गुड एंड बैड हैज बीन एग्जिस्टिंग. ये बात हमेशा ध्यान रखना. So in earlier times also, whatever mythological story you read, you'll find even during time of god and goddesses also, you'll find good and bad has been existing. And this has been true since time immemorial. तो भैया एक बात ध्यान रखना, जब से जिंदगी शुरू हुई है, लाइफ शुरू हुई है, तब से रिस्क है. बिकॉज यू विल फाइंड पहले कम था, अब तो ज्यादा हो गया, और आगे तो और भी ज्यादा होगा. इज इट और नॉट? हाँ,
जी
मतलब
सर।
बढ़ता ही जाएगा. चलो, सो दैट्स गुड पॉइंट. एनीबडी एल्स वांट टू से एनीथिंग एल्स? Still only 21 people have joined. What is your batch size? I think 40 if I'm not wrong.
नहीं सर, अराउंड 30।
अच्छा, around 30 है. चलो अच्छा, ठीक है. But still I think 7, 8 or 9 people have not done. So now we are going to start from the risk profiling. Now you have to do risk profiling of the client. We have talked about the risk of the product, so many things. Now let's look at the client first. Now investment is must for everybody. We have been talking about. That means you have to take risk. There's no choice. You have to invest. For example, let's say if I want good growth of money, then I have to invest in equity. And equity has got risk. All of us know it. उसके अलावा क्या है? टाइम। और टाइम के लिए साथ एक चीज बहुत जरूरी थी है, पेशेंस। इज इट और नॉट? देखो, रिजल्ट डज नॉट कम इंस्टेंटेनियसली। ये T20 मैच नहीं है, इट टेक्स टाइम. So you need to take risk if you are looking for some good result or some growth of money. That's a requirement from the financial requirement. I want 20 lakh, I want 30 lakh, I want crore after 30 years. So you have to take risk because that's your requirement from the money point of view. This is what you want. The second one is ability to take risk, which is more to do with the financial ability. How much income, how much is the liability, both husband and wife earning, or maybe one is earning, how many dependents are there. It all depends upon the cash flow position, income, liabilities, all those things are there. Now, when you look at it, you will find again that some people have got more capacity to invest, and some people are having lesser capacity to invest. I mean, you can't do much about that. Is it or not? You can't, because that's thoda bahut you can manage, but not beyond a limit. So, what you have to do, particularly for those people, let's say, who are having more money, for example, let's say film stars or cricketers. For them, it doesn't make any difference whether they invest in stock trading or mutual fund or anywhere. Let's be very honest. For them, it doesn't make any difference. But the same thing makes a difference for somebody who is having a limited earning, limited saving, or limited money. And that's where you need to do very things cautiously. And you have to make sure because that person is not going to, should not lose. And that's why investment horizon is something which you have to keep it in mind. That means whenever that person wants, he should not be losing. So investment horizon देखिए आपको, because it can vary from person to person. The last one is willingness to take risk. This is to do more with the psychological capacity. The first one, of course, you have to go for it. The second one, very limited you can do. The third one, willingness to take risk. Now, this willingness is something you must have heard this word. He's a risk averse, he's a risk taker, moderate, aggressive. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Is there a
Willingness to
preference
take risk.
when they're evaluating trade-offs between profits and risk?
Right. That is more towards tolerant towards the risk. Tolerant, समझ रहे हो ना? मतलब जैसे कुछ लोगों को इंजेक्शन लग जाए तो रोना शुरू कर देते हैं. वत्सल, आप रोते हो? नहीं. I
Okay.
hope not. But there are some people who are still fearful of. So this is what we know. I mean, and some people hardly doesn't matter here. So people are of different type. I mean, you can't do much about that. That's there. Psychology is something which is very, very difficult and complex. In fact, you look at it. But if somebody says, "Hey boss, I'm fearful. I don't want to take risk." What you can make out of that sentence? Willingness to take risk. I'm not willing to take risk. Now we had already talked yesterday. What do we mean by risk, first of all? Let's have a very clear-cut understanding of risk. The moment I say word risk, what do you mean? Any one of you? Please raise your hand. The moment I say risk.
The fear of loss.
Yes, that is one way of looking at it.
Your topic.
और बताइए. मैं अगर बोलूं कि यार गोपाल इज अ वेरी रिस्की पर्सन, व्हाट डज इट मीन? चलो गोपाल.
They're okay with unpredictability or
Absolutely.
uncertainty.
Absolutely. Now you have given the answer. मतलब यार पता नहीं गोपाल का मूड कब क्या कर जाए. कभी खुश हो जाएगा बिन बात का, कभी नाराज हो जाएगा बिन बात. मतलब अनप्रेडिक्टेबल. Yes, absolutely right. You cannot predict. Uncertainty is there. That's why. So risk does not mean only loss. Risk means unpredictability, uncertainty. That's why. Now, the moment I say willingness to take risk, now As I told you, it has to be tolerant towards risk. Of course, nobody wants loss. If you go and ask anybody, sir, are you ready to make loss? That person is going to say, go away, boss, we are going to invest with you. So that's a very, it's implied that nobody wants to take loss. But the problem is, all of us know risk is there. And sometimes in some of the assets, there can be short-term losses also. Because market moves in cycle, economy moves in cycle. The problem is how much tolerant I am towards that loss, notional loss. How much patience I am having. That's to do with the psychology part. So again, coming back to the same question. If somebody says, I don't want to take risk, it's very clear that person maybe is not a financial expert like you people. He wants to say, I don't want to make loss or take loss. It's quite implied. So you have to make it very clear. You have to ask him, sir, what do you mean by that? Because loss, nobody wants. Here we are talking about tolerance toward the notional loss. So notional loss is only on the paper. Reality में आपको loss नहीं होना है. Now let's say you will ask him, sir, why you are saying this thing? There must be some reason, is it or not? That person is going to give you, and let me tell you, people have not lost because of the asset or because of the investment product, but because of their behavior. Is it clear to all of you? You don't lose because of these things. आप गाड़ी चला रहे हो, एक्सीडेंट हो गया, गाड़ी की वजह से हुआ एक्सीडेंट या तो आपने गलती चलाया या किसी और ने गलती से चलाया, गाड़ी की वजह से थोड़ी हुआ यार. Same, thing is there. So whenever you are going to counter that situation, because you will find, there will be contradiction. It will not be that everything is going in a very smooth way. But first is very important, looking at this only. And second, you can do very little. And the third one is where you have to counter it. So you will find there will be contradiction. And you have to strike a fine balance between the two, wherever is a conflict. So how you are going to strike a fine balance? उसको जरूरत है. He has to invest in equity because he requires that much money. But he is not willing to take short-term losses, notional losses. How you are going to strike them? You have to convince him to no, sir. This is only notional, not real. What you should be concerned about, real gain, real losses, and real risk. Is it clear? Not notional. Unfortunately, in our country, let me tell you, people look at notional. Bank has told you 7%. Are you getting 7%? 6% was the inflation. 1% only you got. Or हम 7% सोचते हैं कि I got 7%. I don't know, we feel very happy at the notional gain. Reality बताओ वो क्या है? We consider notional gain as a real gain and also notional risk as a real risk. And that's where you have to sit with the client and you have to guide him. Any question? So there are various ways to guide him. The best way is always sit with the client, try to find out reason. Sir, क्यों डर क्यों है आपको? And as I told you, it's all because of a behavior. Look at it. Either you invested in a wrong security, wrong investment. That was your call. You didn't do a research. गलत जगह लगाओगे तो पैसा डूबेगा ही. Or you invested at the peak. That also happens. Generally, most people invest at the peak. Or you got out of panic. बेच दिया घबरा के. It could be any reason. And when you analyze all the reasons why you made loss, it's all because of, or maybe you heard somebody from somebody. I can give you one reason. Just listen to me, all of you. You do a random ref check. Please, all of you, please listen to me. Ask 100 people, is equity risky? How many person will say risky? That means loss. How many out of 100 will say? roughly? Any idea?
90%.
90%. And you ask the same 100 people, have you invested in equity? How many will say I've invested in equity?
5%. Maximum.
Hardly.
भैया बात हो गया, बड़ा सिंपल सी बात है, करेला खाया नहीं और बता दिया कि कड़वा है. When only 5 people out of 100 have invested, then how 90 can say it is bad? You got the answer? So why I'm telling you all these things, you will face a situation. And my observation is many times people have misunderstood risk. And as I told you just now, notional को real समझते हैं. And that's where you have to clarify what is notional and what is real. Notional is all on paper. Real is when what you actually get. Any question by anybody? So you will find some conflict, you have to resolve that. Now, the moment I said this, you have to invest somewhere. हमने behavioral bias का पढ़ा था ना?
क्या पढ़ा था?
Behavioral bias.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ये सारा हमने पढ़ा हुआ है कल. So all these things was what? So remember I said you lose because of behavior only. Market की वजह से कोई से ने लॉस नहीं हुआ है. Please मैं आपको बता दूं. If anybody, any one of you think no, the person has lost because of market, raise me that query. If anybody thinks, you know how many equity funds are there in today's? More than 3,000 equity funds I'm talking about, and all of them have given double-digit return. You're not going to get a double-digit return even the cheapest of the debt. So how it is bad? Long term. When I'm saying long term, more than 10 years. So that's very clear. Now let's look at it. You have to invest. You have to invest in what is the best way to investment? Asset allocation. Asset allocation means something in cash, something in debt, something in equity, something in gold, something. So why we do asset allocation? Why asset allocation is done? Why I cannot put all my money in debt? Why I cannot put all my money in gold? Why I cannot put all my money in equity?
reduce the risk.
Risk of whom?
So risk of
Diversify.
uncertainty.
या रिस्क ऑफ होम नहीं रिस्क ऑफ होम देखो जब भी रिस्क बोलो तो बताओ क्लियर करो किसका whose risk yes you're
Risk
right
of losing everything, all the money, single thing.
नहीं you're नहीं देखो फिर again who has said that risk of losing
Me, sir.
अक्षय नहीं अक्षय देखो लूजिंग का तो यहाँ प्रश्न ही नहीं उठता है प्लीज ये आप मान करो वी आर देखो अगर आप इफ यू गो एंड बाय अ मोबाइल फोन एंड दैट शॉप ओनर सेज कि सर चांसेस है ये खराब हो जाएगा तुरंत विल यू बाय इट क्वेश्चन इज आई मीन ऑफ कोर्स दैट nobody is there to influence the question is risk of what
The risk of uncertainty.
देखो losing एक बात ध्यान रखो प्लीज ऑल ऑफ यू पे माय अटेंशन दिस इज द जीरो लेवल इसके नीचे लॉस है तो ये तो मतलब है सबको इसके ऊपर ही रहना है इज इट वेरी क्लियर दैट्स implied nobody wants loss even if somebody says or not says then why I'm investing first of all we have already done it yesterday why I had invested or why I'm investing my question is that Are? Yesterday I told you why do we invest
To grow your money.
no ग्रो तो हो फिर वही बात ग्रो तो है ही why I'm investing I'm investing because I have got a financial goal भूल गए आप लोग that means there is some reason some objective and at that point of time I'll be requiring some money so financial goal I told you reason objective when and how much money I need. Is it clear? So the basis of investment is meeting my financial goal. बड़ा simple सी बात है. ग्रोथ इज इम्प्लाइड वत्सल, दैट्स इम्प्लाइड। ये सब चीज इम्प्लाइड है भाई मेरे, इसमें बात नहीं करना है हमने। क्वेश्चन वो नहीं है, क्वेश्चन ये है कि whenever I want money, I should be having that amount of money in my. Is it clear? Because I have investing my financial goal को देख के मैंने किया है. So basically, when you look from the client perspective, there are only three requirements. I can sell it easily, liquidity. It should be safe. That means loss should not be there. And when I'm saying loss, of course, inflation has to be protected. And the third one is growth. I will club it all three into one: liquid, safe, growth. Is it clear? Liquid, safe, growth. In other words, whenever my client wants, he should easily get the money, whatever is required to meet his goal. That's all. Is it clear? Liquid, safe, growth. बहुत simple सी बात है. So I'm doing asset allocation to ensure that he can require money after 1 month. He can require money after 1 year. He can require money after 15 years. I mean, that can be there. But whenever he is going to get money, it will be liquid, safe, growth. That's why I know different assets have got different characteristics. Debt is safest in short term. Equity is riskiest in short term. That means probability of loss is maximum in equity in short term. So definitely I'm not going to put money in equity in short term. The best asset for my any short term requirement is debt. Is it clear?
Yeah.
And the best asset for my long term requirement is equity. Because all assets are good. All investment products are good. But all assets, all investment products do not perform the same way every point of time. Sometimes debt can also give you a low return to negative return, and sometimes equity also can do this way. Is it clear? Gold also, as per the market and economy, it does. So that's why asset allocation is done, keeping that in view in mind. So the something in cash, something in debt, something in equity, you have done it. And the basis is strategic asset allocation, which is again aligned to the financial and keeping that liquid safe growth in mind. कब उसको कितना पैसा चाहिए उसके हिसाब से आप करोगे. Is it clear? So strategic asset allocation becomes the base. Now there is another part, tactical asset allocation. Maybe you are thinking, okay, boss, next 6 months equity is going to give me a very, very good return. Much better than the any other asset, or even compared to equity, historical return also, maybe it is going to give me very good return. For example, let's say the long-term return which you are expecting in equity, which has been in the past, has been somewhere about 13% or 15%, let's say. But market has gone down very low. And there is every probability that next 6 months it is going to go up. All indicators are there. And maybe you are thinking, okay, boss, next 6 months it is going to give me 60, 70%. It has happened. It's not something which is a story. All of you know, many times in short term, equity has given 60%, 70%, even 100% return. Check it now. So you want to take advantage of that because market is providing you opportunity. So why to miss that? So maybe you can take a calculated risk. So maybe some portion from the strategic part you move towards equity. So tactical asset allocation is all about taking advantage of the opportunity created by the market for a big upside. But tactical asset allocation comes with three risks. Please, all of you pay attention. First one is how correct your call is. If your call goes correct, fine, you are going to gain. If it goes the other way around, you will lose. So the call has to be correct. That's first thing. The second thing is exposure limit. Generally, you should not have more than 5 to 10% money moved towards for tactical. But let's say if you are greedy and rather than 5 to 10%, you make it 40%. Again, same thing. If the call goes right, fine. Now, the third point is very important. You got a good return in 6 months, but you became again greedy. या 6 महीना और रख लेते हैं. फिर क्या होगा? माउंट एवरेस्ट पे चढ़े थे, लुढ़क के फिर नीचे आ गए. So these are the three risks controlling the temptation. It's call risk, exposure risk, and rebalancing risk. जिसको हम rebalance बोलते हैं. So once you have got the profit, it's always advisable you book the profit and get back to the. So strategic is something which is the real base of asset allocation. Do tactical only when you are able to take a correct call and also you are able to manage your temptation. And as I told you, you don't lose because of the market. You lose because of the behavior in the market. Otherwise, आप रहो tactical. चलिए, so अब ये सारी कहानी आपने सुना दिया क्लाइंट को, सब कुछ तैयार हो गया. Now today clients are very smart. They will say, बॉस आपकी जरूरत ही नहीं है, हम आपके हैं कौन? I can do it myself. Google Chacha is with me. He will give me all the answers. And that's a reality, no? You just ask, Google is going to give you an answer. Today you are living in an information age, internet age. So I can do it myself. So now if your client says, I can do it myself, I don't require a professional help, how you are going to counter it? Today, let me tell you, in a mutual fund, there is a direct option also. Let's be very clear. Investor can go directly also. They don't require any professional. Even in equity debt also, I can invest directly. So that choice is with me. Now let's say if your client says, rather than taking a professional route or professional help, why I should not go directly? Because if you are going through a professional route, of course, some cost is involved because nobody is giving you free service. Is it or not? Some money has to be paid. Now, how you are going to guide that client? Three questions. First of all, let me see if you come across that situation, how you are going to guide. All of you. Let me see who can answer. Who will answer? Siddharth? Siddharth, how you are going to handle that situation?
सर सर एक्चुअली मैं उन्हें बताऊंगा जैसे प्रोफेशनल से प्रोफेशन होता है, उनको नॉलेज होती है, नॉलेज के हिसाब से आपका
वो आगे
पैसा
बोलेगा,
को इन्वेस्ट
सिद्धार्थ सिद्धार्थ वो आगे बोलेगा, मैं भी नॉलेज ले लूंगा. चलो.
सर सर टाइम का भी तो होता है, हमें टाइम भी तो चाहिए होगी सर उसको कोर्स को करने के लिए, जैसे
देखो
वो अगर जॉब में
अब
होंगे.
आपने बड़ा सही पॉइंट बोला. टाइम. दैट्स देखो देखो एक बात आप समझो प्लीज. अगेन प्लीज ऑल ऑफ यू लिसन टू मी because this is very important. The moment you say knowledge, many people ego will get hurt. Will it hurt or not? वो बोलेगा यार अच्छा तुम मुझसे ज्यादा बुद्धिमान हो, अपने को ज्यादा नॉलेजेबल समझते. बिकॉज आई मीन ऑफ कोर्स पीपल कैन गेट हर्ट. ईगो तो हो ही सकता है ना. So don't try to emphasize on knowledge. Put it in the other way. You say, Siddharth, yes, you can do it yourself.
सर
Please, all of you listen to me because tomorrow you might face this situation and you have to convert that person into your client. So you can say, sir, and you can do anything yourself, sir. But for doing anything, there has to be some skill set, ability, knowledge required, which you can do. But time is something which is very precious for everybody. God has given us 24 hours to everybody. अब ध्यान दीजिएगा, अंबानी को भी वही 24 घंटे हैं, विराट कोहली के पास भी वही 24 घंटे हैं, शाहरुख खान के पास भी वही 24 घंटे हैं. God and nature does not differentiate between any individual. Is it clear? So that's fixed. So you also having 24 hours. But if you are going to spend your time in acquiring knowledge, you can do it, but time has to be spent. You have to acquire that skill set, knowledge, all those things. Time has to be spent. So try to focus, Siddharth, on the time. Is it clear? Time is very important. Knowledge पे नहीं करना चाहता. आप बोलो कि कर सकते हो, बट आपको उसके लिए टाइम स्पेंड करना पड़ेगा. Now, your profession is what? You are a businessman. or you are a doctor, or you are a lawyer. That's finance is not your profession, na? Your family is waiting for you. Whole day, 8 to 10 hours, you have been working somewhere. Now you are back home by 7 or 8 p.m. Family is waiting for you to spend some time with you. And you will get into again to the laptop and start looking at the value research, money control. तो फिर फायदा क्या है यार? मतलब ultimately, so you have to convince him that way. Is it clear? Ki at the risk of your family, you are doing it, sir. Where there are people whose job is that way. Chalo, that person will say, okay, boss, no, still I can manage it. Let's say, when he is argumentative, he says, okay, I'll manage it. Then you tell him, sir, investment is not about one-time decision. Please, all of you pay attention. If you have invested today for next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, then it is a continuous 10 years, 20 years tracking about that investment. Will you be able to spend that much of time daily, regularly? Because we are living in a dynamic world. What was true or correct yesterday might not be true or correct tomorrow. We get affected by emotions also. So, can you do it regularly? That's first part. The second thing is, now you are having some other core competences. You are a doctor, you are an engineer, you are a professor, businessman, whatever you are. Rather than spending so much time on these activities, why you cannot gain on your own profession? And there are not all people who will keep on enjoying it also. After some time, that person is going to get bored. आप देख लो जो भी आपका एक चीज बहुत ध्यान लो आप लोग सारे लोग प्लीज ऑल ऑफ यू each one of us choose our profession. So what is the basis of choosing the profession?
Our interest.
देखो जैसे जैसे जस्ट लेट्स से a student passes 10th or 12th, yep, school से ही I want to become a doctor, I want to become an engineer, I want to become a pilot, I want to become this and that. What is that? What is that?
Aspiration.
Aspirations.
We choose our profession because out of interest, passion. Is it or not? ये रियलिटी है कि नहीं? अब मैं आप लोग से पूछूंगा, आप लोग को जबरदस्ती नहीं ना ढकेला गया है इन्वेस्टमेंट में? देखो एनीथिंग विच यू आर नॉट डूइंग आउट ऑफ पैशन, आउट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, देन you will be uncomfortable. Let me take you one, because I have seen many students, अब वो साइंस पढ़ना नहीं चाहते हैं लेकिन उनके पिताजी को उसको डॉक्टर इंजीनियर ही बनाना है, जबरदस्ती उसको साइंस दिलवा देंगे. And that fellow young chap is very uncomfortable. You must have seen. Have you seen it or not? तो आजकल के देखो क्या है ना कि आई मीन यू डू वट एवर इज आउट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट टू यू, because there you going to put your all your energy effort. Anything which is not of interest to you, you will not be doing with full heart. Half-heartedly आप करोगे उसको. That's a reality. So the same question here is, sir, you already having some profession which you have chosen because you want to do that, and that's your passion, interest. So rather than developing an expertise there, will you be continuing to with the same passion? No, that will not happen. That doesn't happen. And the last point, which is the most important point, let me tell you, which is cost benefit analysis. Of course, some cost will be involved. You have to pay for it. But what benefit you are getting? Can anybody explain me?
So as in the amount of time and money which you put into learning, uh, investing, will you be able to, gain more or equal to that?
All of you have seen Munna Bhai MBBS?
Yes, sir.
I hope all of you must have seen that. It's a very good movie. If you have not seen it, go and see it. अभी क्लास छोड़ के नहीं, बाद में पता चला अभी क्लास छोड़ के शुरू हो गए देखना बाद में. स्मृति इज स्माइलिंग. So if all those who have seen Munna Bhai MBBS, they can recall the whole class is sitting. That's a medical college, and Boman Irani, who is the principal of that college, is addressing to the new students, and he's saying, "This hand has done thousands of operations, but it has never shaken. But tomorrow, the same hand, if it has to do the operation of my daughter, it is going to shake." So, what he's trying to say?
Emotional
पर्सनल
attachment.
रिलेशनशिप्स
Yes, वो तो है ही, बेटी तो उसकी बेटी पर्सनल रिलेशनशिप भी हो गया. But what is trying to say?
So
He's
emotional
trying
attachment
to
to us is
say that if
important.
you manage your own risk just because of emotional attachment, because that you might end up taking a wrong decision. Is it clear? That's why he's saying that this hand is going to shake. और आपको एक और बात बता दे रहा हूं. Even the best of the surgeon, they do not do operation for their own children, their family member. Are you aware of this? They might be present in the operation theater, but the operation is done by some other surgeon. They themselves do not do it. This example is enough to tell anybody, boss, when it comes to handling your own risk, somewhere you are going to get emotionally affected. अब सोचो, आप अपने बेटे का पेट चीर रहे हो, पार्थ, खून बहता हुआ देखे तो क्या होगा?
Sorry, sir.
If somebody is, I mean, in operation, of course, blood flows, na, you know. So the child is unconscious, all these things. So that's what Bowman Irani is trying to say. If you manage your own risk, emotion is going to come some way, and that can harm also. That's what he's trying to say. Now, the same logic I'm applying here. It's not a question of cost, it's a question of benefit what you're getting. And you should not be getting emotionally attached to that. Because if you are handling your own risk of your own money, then maybe you will fall under some emotional impact. Maybe you will become greedy, or maybe you will become fearful, or maybe out of. And this is what we are talking about. You lose because of your behavior. Same thing.
Yes, sir.
हाँ, तो आपको बोलना है कि सर, but if I am going to handle your money, or your money is going to be handled by some professional, then for them it's a very, very different thing. Your money, please all of you pay attention. Your money has got emotional attachment with you, whereas you are having a professional attachment with you. There's a difference. Is it clear to all of you? The client has got a risk of losing money, whereas for you people, it is the risk of losing the client. फर्क है कि नहीं दोनों में? तो उसको आप बताओ कि फायदा होगा आपको सर, नुकसान होगा तो आपको खुशी होगी, बट आपके पैसे के ग्रोथ से शायद मुझे मेरा गेन नहीं हो रहा है, बट if I lose you, then I'm losing you. So that's the key point. So once you are going to tell him all these three things, I hope he's going to understand. Any question by anybody? Please, quickly. Anybody? So the moment I said the best way to manage the risk is go through a professional route. And when the moment I said professional route, already I've told you investment is all about money management. Risk is there. So, which is a product which does or manages the money risk management in the best possible manner? Give me the answer. Which is the product? Which is the product? Dharna, which is the product which manages the. तो फिर धरना आप क्या बैठे हो यहाँ पे? You're not paying attention. Kishan,
Yes, sir.
which is the product which manages the risk of money in the best possible manner when we talk about investment?
इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी।
क्या?
इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी।
इंश्योरेंस भाई मेरे आदमी की करते हो आप गाड़ी की करते हो, मनी की नहीं करते हो, फिर यही में गलत आप सोच गए।
म्यूचुअल फंड्स।
गोल्ड और सिल्वर।
म्यूचुअल फंड यार, देखो फिर आई थिंक समवेयर वंश
सर गोल्ड भी हो सकता है क्या?
वंश 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 आई सेड इंश्योरेंस। वंश देखो क्लैरिटी होनी चाहिए। व्हाई वी टेक इंश्योरेंस? लाइफ कवर। कल को मुझे कुछ हो गया, नहीं नहीं, कल को मुझे हो गया तो मेरे बीवी बच्चों को तकलीफ नहीं हो। तो आप किसकी रिस्क ले रहे हो? आदमी की। कल को मेरी गाड़ी कहीं एक्सीडेंट हो जाए, टूट फूट गई, तो कार की इंश्योरेंस। प्लीज बी वेरी क्लियर। यहाँ पे आप मनी की बात, यस मनी तो इन्वॉल्व है इसमें, नो डाउट अबाउट इट। अब मनी नहीं है फोकस यहाँ पे, आइदर इज अ लाइफ, तभी तो उसको हम लाइफ कवर बोलते हैं, तभी तो मोटर इंश्योरेंस कहते हैं। डू वी से और नॉट? हेल्थ बोलते हैं, बिकॉज हियर बट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट मनी माय डियर, प्लीज बी वेरी क्लियर। So because investment is all about money management, and I am investing because I want that money after some time to meet my goal. So many risks are there. दुनिया भर के रिस्क है. That means my money has to be managed in a best possible manner, tackling all the risk. And mutual fund is that product. Anybody has got any question?
So why not about what about gold, foreign currency, and FDs? Because they can also mitigate the risk as well.
अरे एफडी की,
But
who is saying this? Who is saying this?
the part.
पार्थ कल आपको बताया था यार, एफडी की कहानी बताई
अच्छा
थी
हाँ
हमने,
हाँ
फिर आप
हाँ
वहीं पे आ जा रहे हो यार।
अच्छा अच्छा सॉरी।
एफडी
व्हाट
आपको
अबाउट
बताया था। एफडी कैसे
व्हाट
आपको रिस्क मैनेज कर रहा है, मुझे जवाब दे दो तो।
बिकॉज इफ
जवाब
यू
दो ना, कैसे रिस्क
गोल्ड
मैनेज कर रहा है?
कर सकता है ना।
गिव मी द आंसर ना।
if you're going to invest the
No,
money
no, you
in
want this
FD.
money after 20 years.
Hmm.
You want this money after 20 years.
Yeah.
Already I told you the long-term trend in interest rate is decreasing. Already I told you the notional return will always be positive, but the real rate of return can be negative also. So how FD is safeguarding you? Give me the answer.
I got you. I got you.
क्लैरिटी
What
होनी चाहिए पार्थ बाबू।
what what about gold? गोल्ड के साथ भी ये सेम
अरे
स्कीम नहीं
भाई
है
मेरे,
कि
हो पार्थ मेरे भैया, देखो आप लोग बेसिक्स बड़े क्लियर करो। लाइफ इज ऑल अबाउट ग्रोथ, इज इट और नॉट?
यस सर।
एनीबडी थिंक्स कि यार बहुत हो गई जिंदगी ग्रोथ की, अब मुझे ग्रोथ नहीं चाहिए? नहीं नहीं, टेल मी ऑनेस्टली, एनीबडी हियर हु थिंक्स बॉस अब मुझे ग्रोथ नहीं चाहिए, बस सब कुछ है, संतुष्टि प्राप्त हो गई है?
अभी तक तो नहीं।
लाइफ, या गिव मी द आंसर।
60%।
देखो द प्रॉब्लम इज व्हेन आई आस्क ईच वन ऑफ यू टुमारो यू वांट अ कार और नॉट, everybody will say yes, yes, yes. When I say which car and I give you 5 options, you are definitely going to select the best one. What is that, my dear? Why you're not satisfied with scooter? Give me the answer. Or why you're not satisfied with Alto? Why you want Mercedes?
Because we live in a material world, sir.
नहीं नहीं, मटेरियल पर तो ठीक है, बट व्हाई यू वांट दैट? ऑल्टो
सर
से भी आपके
बिकॉज
काम
ऑफ
चल जाएगा।
सोसाइटी।
सर
नहीं
वांट
नहीं,
ऑल्टो।
मैं आपको चार, देखो यही बात बोलो ना, कभी कभी जो आप लोग प्रैक्टिकल नहीं सोचते हो, थ्योरेटिकल बहुत हो जाते हो। मैं आपको चार गाड़ी आपके सामने रख देता हूँ, चलो,
जी जी
और बोलता हूँ यार इसमें से कौन गाड़ी चाहिए, मर्सिडीज भी है और ऑल्टो भी है, आप कौन उठाओगे?
मर्सिडीज सर।
हद हो गई यार। कल को बजाज कैपिटल आपको बुलाता है, अरे आप बड़ा प्रैक्टिकल बात करो, और आपको बोलता है भाई चार ऑप्शन देता हूँ, सैलरी सेलेक्ट करो, 25,000, 30,000, 35,000, 50,000, आप बताओ कौन सा चुनोगे? बताओ, जवाब दो ना, सीधी सी बात, 25,000 या 50,000?
50,000।
50,000।
तो फिर क्यों
50,000।
बातें बोल रहे हो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव यार, हद हो गई। आई मीन
ओके
बॉस,
ओके सर सॉरी
everybody
सॉरी।
is, the life is surviving on growth, please make it very clear. Better life, better lifestyle. ये हमने कल बात कर रखी थी. एंड एवरीथिंग कम्स बाय मनी ओनली माय डियर. सबसे बड़ा रुपया.
रुपया.
हाँ, तो ये बात आप ध्यान रखिएगा. कल हमने ये सारी बातें कर रखी, आप लोग हो सकता है भूल गए सारा. देखो, टू अंडरस्टैंड ऑल दीज थिंग्स, थिंक लाइक अ कॉमन पर्सन. प्लीज ऑल ऑफ यू, आई एम टेलिंग यू, फाइनेंस को एक साधारण आदमी की तरह सोचो. ज्यादा ज्यादा टेक्निकल मत बन जाओ. थिंक लाइक अ कॉमन है. भाई मैं क्या चाहता हूँ? बेटर लाइफ स्टाइल. कैसे होगा? मोर मनी. रिस्क है दुनिया में. ज्यादा मुझे पैसे की भविष्य में जरूरत पड़ेगी, बिकॉज यू डोंट नो व्हाट न्यू प्रोडक्ट एंड सर्विसेज इज गोइंग टू कम. सो अल्टीमेटली growth is the very integral part of life. All of you are in 20s. I don't know. आप 80 तक जियोगे, 90 तक जियोगे, 100 साल तक जियोगे, 200 साल तक जियोगे. एंड 200 साल तक तो नहीं जियोगे. बट पता नहीं कितने साल तक जीतोगे. एंड एवरी मोमेंट यू विल बी रिक्वायरिंग मनी, मोर मनी. सो अल्टीमेटली इट्स ऑल अबाउट मनी मैनेजमेंट, माय डियर. एंड वन प्रोडक्ट which manages the risk of money management is mutual fund. Best. पार्थ, कोई शक?
नहीं सर, कोई शक नहीं.
नहीं नहीं, मतलब मैंने बोल दिया इसलिए नहीं, हमें यहाँ नहीं मिलाना है. क्लैरिटी होनी चाहिए.
सर
हाँ,
आपने बोला था
कंफ्यूजन हो.
ग्रोथ. सर आपने बोला था
नो
ग्रोथ.
कंफ्यूजन नहीं, ग्रोथ ही है. मैंने अभी आपको बोला ना, मैं आपको 10 ऑप्शन दे दूं.
सर आपने बोला तो अब शायद किसको
नहीं,
होगा,
मैंने
आपने
बोला
बोला.
नहीं, मैंने बोला नहीं, मैंने बोला नहीं. मैंने बोला नहीं, मैंने बोला नहीं. कल को मोदी जी स्कीम लेके आए कि भाई आप लोगों को सबको मैं घर देता हूँ. 1 बेडरूम, 2 बेडरूम, 3 बेडरूम, 4 बेडरूम. कौन सा लेंगे आप? तो बात खत्म हो गई यार. बाकी जब हर जगह आप हाथ हिला रहे हो सबसे आखिरी बड़े वाले के लिए, देन ऑफ कोर्स ग्रोथ. लाइफ इज ऑल अबाउट ग्रोथ. ये जो आइडियलिस्टिक बातें बोलते हैं ना, जब उनके सामने रख दोगे ना तो वो सब दिख जाएगा सामने. सो प्लीज बी वेरी क्लियर. हाँ. सो द बेस्ट प्रोडक्ट विच मैनेजेस द रिस्क ऑफ मनी, or if I have to say, mutual fund is the best money risk management product. Please write it down. Mutual fund is the best money risk management product. Money risk management product. Any question by anybody? No question. आगे बढ़े. चलिए. So कुछ सवाल जवाब कर लेते हैं. Which among the following investment avenue does not offer income on regular basis? Raise your hand and answer. Not everybody. Quickly. Prince.
Please repeat.
सर स्टॉक.
Who is नहीं अभी प्रिंस क्या बोला आपने? प्रिंस
सर स्टॉक.
सोच के बोलिए. Stocks do give dividend.
सर बट इट डज. सर वो रेगुलर बेसिस पे नहीं देता ना वो.
Stocks do give dividend.
सर बट रेगुलर बेसिस पे नहीं देता.
अरे भैया, फिजिकल गोल्ड आपको देता है क्या कुछ इनकम? गिव मी द आंसर.
सॉरी सर, सॉरी.
Gold.
गोल्ड.
Physical
What's
gold.
physical gold, यार? Real estate you get rental income. Stocks gives you dividend. Debentures give you interest income. So the obvious answer is physical gold. Clear? Clear? हाँ या ना?
Yes, sir.
Physical gold आपको थोड़ी देता है something. The answer is B. Which among the following asset categories can be purchased for consumption purpose also?
Real
Arjun?
Real estate.
Real estate.
Yes.
Real estate.
Real estate is only for consumption. बाकी सारा इन्वेस्टमेंट है आपका. The purchasing power of currency changes on account of which of the following?
inflation.
Yes, absolutely right. Answer is inflation. What is the real rate of return?
So return after inflation.
Return after inflation.
Very good. Excellent. Answer is correct. This one?
Decrease.
Decreases.
Absolutely right. Answer is decreases. So first chapter is over. Any question? So now we had ended up with what sentence? Let me see who remembers. देखिए मेरी एक बड़ी खराब आदत है, मैं कभी भी वापस पीछे जाके फिर पूछ लूंगा क्या पढ़ाया था. So all of you have to be alert. So what was the last sentence which I ended? Do it yourself or professional. Mutual fund is the
Best asset management.
best
Money risk
best
management.
मनी मैनेजमेंट प्रोग्राम.
money risk management. देखो सारे words को कॉल करना, money risk, all things. Now let's look at it. So professionally, I've already told you why, because it is managed professionally. So when I'm saying professionally, just now I think Parth said why I cannot invest in FD and all other things. Now in a mutual fund also, money is invested in assets only. It could be debt, it could be equity, it could be gold. But the way of investment is different. And this difference itself is what creating professionalism. So money is invested after doing a thorough research. What for research is done? आपको कल एक चीज मैंने बोला था, प्लीज ऑल ऑफ यू, इफ यू रिमेंबर, whether we are talking about real estate, gold, equity, debt, one factor is common, which we should be looking at it wherever you are investing. It's common. What is that? What is the purpose of research? Chalo, let me ask you. What is the purpose of doing research? Are?
To gain knowledge on
To
investing.
get insights and to get information.
देखो शादी जब होती है लड़के लड़की की, तो माता पिता बहुत जांच पड़ताल करते हैं परिवार के बारे में. क्यों करते हैं भाई?
To know if they're
बाद
making
में
the
खोटे ना निकल जाए.
तो बस सिंपल सी यार, तभी मैं बोल रहा ना, आप लोग फाइनेंस की तरह सोचते हो तो इसलिए कंफ्यूज होते हो. सिंपल आदमी की तरह सोचो ना कि भैया मैं सही चीज ले रहा हूँ कि नहीं. हद हो गई यार. टमाटर लेने जाते हो तो कितनी बार गोल गोल घुमा के देखते हो कि कहां से सड़ा हुआ है कहां से नहीं है. हम मोबाइल फोन. आंसर इज वेरी सिंपल. द पर्पस ऑफ रिसर्च इज टू सी दैट right product or right thing is selected or not. Is it clear? Because after doing research only you will know, na? So when I'm saying professionally and different way, it is invested in the same asset, but after doing a thorough research. हम और आप कर सकते हैं. हम और आप कर सकते हैं, सीधा जवाब दीजिए. रिसर्च
no, sir.
कर सकते हैं, बट कितना कर लेंगे? द क्वेश्चन इज नॉट दैट.
यहाँ
कितना
पे
कर लेंगे? That's so that thing there. After doing a research also, and also identifying which are the company worth investing or not worth investing, either way. Let's say money is invested not in only the best company or best security or best asset, whatever we call it. Money is invested in multiple assets, securities, which are all good. That means आप एक investment basket बना लेते हो. ये 50 कंपनी अच्छी है, ये 60 कंपनी अच्छी है, और उसके अंदर आप फिर इन्वेस्ट करते हो. That means you construct a portfolio. 2% इन्फोसिस में, 3% एसबीआई में, 4% विप्रो में. Multiple industries, multiple companies, multiple securities. So what is the reason for research का तो बता दिया. Why portfolio? Why portfolio? Why portfolio is constructed?
diversity
Diversification of?
asset classes.
नहीं नहीं नहीं, पोर्टफोलियो की बात कर रहा हूं मैं. पोर्टफोलियो बन चुका है. Diversification of risk, because if you look at it, I already I told you, it's not that all companies, all industries, all sectors, everything behave the same way. ऐसा नहीं होता है बॉस. कभी कभी विराट कोहली भी जीरो पे आउट हो जाता है. कभी कभी शाहरुख खान की भी फिल्म फ्लॉप होती है. ये बात ध्यान रखना. दैट्स अ लॉ ऑफ नेचर. कभी भी कोई कांस्टेंट विनर नहीं होता है हमेशा. दैट्स द रियलिटी ऑफ लाइफ. And that is equally true with the companies and the investment vehicles also. So the purpose of diversification is money is distributed among different good quality papers or security, But there also not every security is going to perform the same way at every point of time. Some might be doing very well, some might not be doing that well also at any point of time. And the purpose is ultimately the return from the whole portfolio should be good. So I can say mutual fund is not there to give you the highest return. Please, all of you note it, what I'm saying. Mutual fund is the product which gives you the best possible return after managing all the risk. And that's why I said mutual fund is the best money risk management product. अब आपको समझ में आया क्यों? You are investing after doing a thorough research. And by research, you are looking at, oh, these are 20, 30, 40, 50 good companies or securities to invest. But there also, you're not putting all your money in a single company or single security. Multiple. That means you're constructing a portfolio. The objective of the portfolio is diversification. So what you're looking at the return from the portfolio. Is it clear?
Sir, what was the sentence?
What was the
Sentence.
अरे जोर से बोलो यार आवाज नहीं आती है.
The mutual fund gives best.
So can you repeat the sentence, please?
नहीं वो पहला वाला है तो अच्छा चलो ठीक है I got it. First I said mutual fund is the best money risk management product. That was the first sentence. The second sentence which I am telling you, because इसी को मैं extend करता हूँ. Mutual fund gives you the best possible return after managing all the risk. Is it clear? Best possible return. मेरे words को गौर करना. Possible, best possible return, जो भी है सिनेरियो है. Because scenario देखो कभी कभी क्या होता है. For example, let's say if the market is down, तो वहां पे भी whatever best possible return you will get it from the mutual fund. Is it clear? Is it clear? Because
Yes.
market economy will move in cycle, boss. हमेशा एक जैसा नहीं होगा. And that's what is the mutual fund. The third difference is regulated vehicle. Everything is done in a very, very regulated way. SEBI rules, guidelines, norms are there. In detail, we are going to talk later on. ऐसा नहीं है कि बॉस fund manager who is managing the fund can do anything. वो भी he has to follow our guidelines, norms, all those things are there. So difference lies in these three aspects. Legally, mutual fund is a trust. It has been constituted as a trust. It's not a company or a body corporate or something. It is a trust. Created under Indian Trust Act 1882. And very clear, they launched different schemes. Investors should be investing in those schemes. Every scheme is having a clearly well-defined investment objective. Mark my word. Every scheme is having a clear, well-defined investment objective. अब मैं आपसे फिर यही पूछूंगा यार इन्वेस्टमेंट हर स्कीम का इन्वेस्टमेंट ऑब्जेक्टिव क्यों है? They can just launch a scheme. लार्ज कैप में करेंगे इन्वेस्टिंग, उसमें करेंगे, कहीं पे भी डाल सकते हैं. But why there is a defined investment objective? Well communicated.
So the returns are the outcomes of what decisions you make. So you have to.
वो तो है वत्सल, वो तो है.
You have to know where
चलो
you're.
देखो फिर आप सोचने लगे फाइनेंशियल एक्सपर्ट की तरह. अब मैं आपसे थोड़ा पलट के जवाब पूछता हूँ. एक मिठाई का दुकान वाला गुलाब जामुन क्यों बना रहा है? रसगुल्ला क्यों बना रहा है? जवाब दो. अरे
कस्टमर्स को वही पसंद है तो वो खिला देता हूँ.
क्योंकि कुछ लोग को रसगुल्ला पसंद है, वो आएंगे खाने. एग्जैक्टली. जिसको गुलाब जामुन पसंद है वो गुलाब जामुन खाने आएंगे. सेम थिंग. I think you have forgotten. Every investor is also having an objective. भूल गए? Financial goal. I want regular income. I want easy liquidity. I want to save tax. Is it or not? Every investor is also having some objective or not? Financial goal. Capital appreciation. It could be anything. That's why scheme is also having an objective. When the scheme is made, That thing is kept in mind. कि बॉस लोगों के कुछ तो ऑब्जेक्टिव है, and that's why every scheme is having a defined objective. So schemes are floated with a defined objective, well communicated, and those investors who want that type of objective, they will invest in that scheme. Is it clear? And all these schemes are offered by the asset management company. It's professional fund management services are offered by the asset management company, AMCs, which we call it. Kotak Mutual Fund, ICICI Mutual Fund, Prudential ICICI Mutual Fund, SBI Mutual Fund. आप लोग ये सब नाम सुनते हैं ना? Nippon Mutual Fund. These are all AMCs which are launching the schemes. So what is the role of a mutual fund? Already we have told you, different people have got different objectives. They want to earn income, regular income, building wealth, saving tax. So to help them to achieve their objectives by investing in different securities market, schemes are floated. Now, who money is invested in tradable marketable securities, and these securities are issued by some or the other entity. It could be government of India, it could be private companies, it could be any entity. But what for they are raising money from public? Why a company raise money from public? Why a government raises money from public? जवाब दीजिए. Because there are certain projects. Company wants to expand. Is it or not? Government of India also has got a lot of projects. Road banane hai, airports banane hai. I mean, so many things are there. Very soon you will find budget coming in. So these securities are floated in the market for some projects, and mutual fund invest in those projects, in those securities. In a way, they are helping for the execution of those projects. Now, let's say whether it's road or transport or company expansion or whatever it may be, is that helping in the economic development or not? Is that helping in the economic development or not?
Yes.
And since let's say expansion हो रहा है, जो भी चीज हो रहा है, is employment is being created or not? So in a way, mutual fund is also contributing towards that side, economic development, employment creation by investing in those projects. Mutual fund and insurance companies, they are the largest domestic institutional investor. Let's say if you have invested as an individual in Hindustan Lever, आपकी कोई बात सुनेगा? कुछ गलत भी हो रहा है तो जवाब दीजिए हाँ या ना. अरे हमारी आपकी क्या हैसियत है बॉस? We are individuals. But same mutual fund, let's say if they are having 30% stake in a particular company or 25%, they have got a say in the corporate governance, ethical practices. That means in a way, they are protecting your interest also. Is it clear? देखिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है. You and I as an individual will not come to know also if something is going wrong within a company, unethical practice or something. But since mutual fund, they are doing research, they are having more knowledge, better knowledge. And first, of course, they will try to counter that in case they feel, okay, maybe this company is not worth investing. They will get out also. But you and me as an individual will continue to be invested in that company. So in a way, they are helping you in safeguarding your losses also. समझ में आया बात? हाँ या ना? What did I say? Let me see. Who can? अक्षय बताइए. Ashish, are you there? Vivek, are you there? Your camera is closed. Rajiv, your camera is closed. Vineet, your camera is closed. Farhan, your camera is closed. Narendra, your camera is closed. All of you have closed your camera. Vivek, what did I say just now? विवेक बताइए।
सर म्यूचुअल फंड से म्यूचुअल फंड्स को नॉलेज होती है कंपनी के बारे में, वो कंपनी को चेक करते हैं कि कोई लीगल वे से तो कुछ नहीं हो रहा, और हम इन्वेस्टेड रहते हैं उस फंड्स में एज एन इंडिविजुअल।
आपके अगर आप वही कंपनी में इफ यू आर इन्वेस्टिंग डायरेक्टली, you will not be even knowing many of the things. Let me tell you. But mutual funds, since they are doing research, they are protecting your interest also. If you are going through a mutual fund, somebody was asking me why Parth, where is Parth? Parth, समझ में आ रहा है? आप
जी
रिस्क
सर।
अकेले डायरेक्टली कितना मैनेज कर सकते हो, या आपका रिस्क म्यूचुअल फंड के थ्रू कितना मैनेज हो रहा है?
जी सर।
So that's why I said this word. This is the best risk management product. If you look from all these things. चलो.
जी सर।
Mutual fund again being a very, very flourishing industry today. I mean, like you people will be selling mutual fund. Today, all banks are selling mutual fund. If you go and just ask the bank, from your revenue, the maximum earning has come from which side? Any idea? It is from the third party product. Third party product, when I'm saying it's both insurance as well as mutual fund also. Today, post office is also selling mutual fund. NBFC, stock broking companies, everybody selling mutual fund. So you can just imagine how many people are involved in the mutual fund industry today, directly, indirectly. So it's providing livelihood to so many people. Mutual fund also acts like a market stabilizer. Now, in our capital market, two types of monies are coming in. One, domestic, and the other one is coming from abroad. We can call it foreign money. Foreign money generally comes in a form of FIIs or FPIs. अब प्लीज एक बात को ध्यान दीजिएगा, बहुत इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. For you and me, we have got very little choice. Whether good or bad, we have to invest within the Indian economy only. चाहे अच्छा रिटर्न आए या खराब रिटर्न आए, यही हमारे लिए है. But that's not the case with the foreign investors. Because for them, India is one of the market. It's not that they are not emotionally involved with India. If Indian capital market is giving them good return, they will invest. If tomorrow, let's say Singapore looks better, they will move their money there. Or let's say Indonesia looks better, they will move money there. Irrespective of whatever is within Indian economy or market is happening. But for you or me, it's a limited opportunity. We have to invest in India. Now, foreign money comes in bulk, gets out also in bulk. Let's say suddenly huge inflow of money is there. Market will suddenly move up. Define the fundamentals. Let's say there is a sudden withdrawal. Irrespective of the fact that the economy is still doing very well. देखिए आप लोग को बहुत ध्यान दीजिएगा आप. बहुत बार जब मार्केट गिरता है बिकॉज ऑफ FIs और FPIs withdrawal, don't think there is something wrong with our Indian economy. Is it clear? Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Because generally people think that if the market is going up, तो कुछ सब अच्छा है, मार्केट गिर गया तो सब खराब, ऐसा नहीं होता है. There could be reasons also. So even if the Indian economy, Indian market, everything is good, Indian fundamentals are good, but still foreign money can go out. Maybe because they have got their own interest. They feel okay, better to put it in Argentina or anywhere. I mean, they can put it. So these things do happen. You cannot stop them. But what happens in this case, volatility will be there. And in order to counter that volatility, that means in order to bring sanity in the market, mutual fund acts like a market stabilization. Is it clear? They counter the large inflow or outflow of the foreign investors. Because basically mutual fund is catering to the domestic investors, like you and me. And for them, the interest of domestic investor is paramount. So roles of mutual fund clear ho gaya? Keep asking question. So why mutual fund? What is the need of mutual fund? We have already discussed different investment preferences hai investor ke. Regular income, saving of taxes, protection of money, growth of money, it could be anything. And mutual fund launches different schemes to meet the diverse need of investors. Every scheme is having a predefined and announced investment objective. That's well defined. well communicated. So let's say if the objective is to give regular income, where the money will be invested? Which asset?
Debt.
Of course, debt. Yes. And they are also within debt also they are going to look at those which is giving a regular coupon. So clear है आपका objective in line with the objective, which asset, what will be the investment universe, what will be the investment policy, what will be the strategy, all these things are in line with that. Gopal, read the last line, which is very important. Gopal,
Yes, sir.
last line पढ़िए, which is made bold. अरे गोपाल
The,
quickly पढ़ो ये. हाँ.
the investor invest in a mutual fund scheme with investment objective reflect their own needs and preference.
क्या समझ में आया? अगर क्लाइंट को दही भल्ले खाने हैं तो ढोकला नहीं परोसना है. समझ में आई बात? उसको जलेबी खाना है तो समोसा नहीं प्रोजेक्ट करना है. इसे समझ में आई बात? सिंपल वर्ड्स में. Tomorrow when you are going to handle the client, you should know the financial goal, the objective. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And accordingly, you have to give him the right product, which is going to help this niche object. अब यहां पे भी ध्यान दीजिएगा, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट आई एम टेलिंग यू. Let's say you get a call. Please, all of you pay attention. Let me check your intelligence. You get a call from somebody. Sir, I want to invest 10 lakh rupees to pay fee for my college son higher education. What you are going to suggest? Or what you are going to ask? You get a call from somebody on a phone. Sir, I'm thinking of investing 10 lakh rupees for the paying fee or for higher education of my child. Now you tell me what you're going to do. Let me see.
Really you ask, sir, first you ask the time as in when you need the money.
Who is answering this?
Sir, me, Arjun.
नहीं मी से नहीं पता चलता यार.
Arjun, sir,
अर्जुन दिख नहीं रहे हो आप. चेहरा अच्छा सॉरी मैं दूसरे पेज पे.
Yeah.
एक मिनट अर्जुन आपका चेहरा दिखने दो पहले उसके बाद फिर बातें करेंगे ना. यस अर्जुन, वेरी गुड अर्जुन, वेरी गुड, एब्सोल्युटली राइट. So let's say if he says after a month, then which asset, which product?
Then
Of course it has to
you,
be debt.
you put it,
And of
yes,
course
it has to be
debt.
debt.
It has to be debt. Safest of the product. Let's say if he says after 15 years, then
Equity.
equity, of course. देखो ध्यान दो, objective is the same. But when the objective has to be executed, that's why I said financial goal. So please remember, just by looking at the objective, don't jump to the conclusion. किसको debt ही बेच देना है या इसको equity ही बेचना है. Your job is what? What did I say? How you are going to manage the risk of your client? Give me the answer. Hey, we already told you. You have to look at the liquid safe growth. भूल गए? याद है कि नहीं? Liquid safe growth. It means very simple, whichever product I'm going to suggest, the client should be getting his money easily and with good growth with safety. So because in short term, I cannot take risk in equity, it has to be something in debt. But in long term, because of cost of education is going to go up. All of you know it. It will not be the same. So of course it has to be equity. And that thing you will know only by reading the objectives. So the first step of selecting any investment product is matching the investor objective with the scheme objective. समझ में आई बात? लड़के लड़की की कुंडली क्यों मिलती है? वत्सल,
I don't know, sir.
जन्म
ऐसे क्या?
कुंडली शादी के वक्त में लड़के लड़की की क्यों मिलती है? ये बताओ, क्यों मिलान होती है? पंडित जी आते हैं, क्या देखते हैं?
To find if they're the right fit for each other.
यस, देखो बस सिंपल तरीका है यार। अगर नहीं मिले तो फिर क्या होगा? फिर तो आपको पता ही है क्या होगा।
शादी करनी पड़ेगी.
तो सो अगेन compatibility is the key, even in investment also. Think like a common man, that's all. So always, this is a very important point. Match the client objective with the relevant and right objective of the scheme and select that way and go ahead. चलिए, so आगे बढ़ते हैं. So same thing, those things are well defined in the scheme information document. Just some of the examples. Overnight fund. Overnight fund मतलब क्या हुआ? Overnight, एक दो दिन के लिए, यही हुआ ना? And just look at it, what is the objective? The scheme intends to provide reasonable income. It's not saying high income, reasonable income, along with very high liquidity. So emphasis is on liquidity by investing in overnight securities having a maturity of one business day. So when you read the investment objective, it's clear what it is going to deliver, where it's going to invest, everything is clear. Any question by anybody? So every scheme is having a objective. This is just to give you some example of some. These are the important concepts in a mutual fund. Whenever the first time this scheme is launched, it is called first time when the scheme is launched, what it is called? NFO. What is the full form of NFO? New Fund Offering. Is it clear? जैसे IPO होता है ना? All of you know what is IPO? Same way, it is called an NFO. So whenever the first time scheme is launched, it is called NFO. And when it is launched, objective is well communicated through advertisement, marketing, all those things are there, so that the public should know what is the objective of the scheme. And anybody who is looking for such type of scheme is expected to invest in that scheme. Clear? Whenever somebody is investing in a mutual fund, he is getting units. And when the first time scheme is launched during NFO, the price of a unit is 10 rupees, which is called the face value. The face value, which is 10 rupees, will always remain same face value. Is it clear? Face value is not going to change. Face value will remain the same. Let's say if you have invested 50,000 rupees in the NFO, you are going to get 5,000 units. If you have invested 2 lakh, you are going to get 20,000 units. Amount divided by 10, that is the unit. That is during NFO. At any point of time, the total units, because units can increase and decrease later on, multiplied by the face value is called the unit capital. That's the unit capital. Face value remains same 10 rupees, but units can keep on changing. So total units multiplied by face value, that's the unit capital. In a mutual fund, money is invested in tradable marketable securities. It is not invested in non-marketable securities. Money is not invested in bank FD or PPF or NSC. Is it clear? It is invested in tradable marketable securities, which are being bought and sold in the stock market. But as per the investment objective. So the choice of asset is in line with the investment objective, whatever security is there. Now let's say, for example, 500 crore has been mobilized in the NFO. That has been invested in some 40 securities. Today it is 500 crore when it has been invested. Tomorrow, the total value will remain 500 crore or it can increase or decrease.
Increase or decrease.
It could be either way. कुछ भी हो सकता है ना? All of us know it. So this 500 crore will become 510 also. Maybe it can become 490 crore also. Again, the value of those, because money is invested in tradable marketable securities, and the price of securities will keep on changing, keeps on changing on a daily basis. There are so many factors which affect the price. It will keep on changing. Now, this total value of investment as per the market value is called AUM, asset under management. And the price of a unit, which was originally 10 rupees, the face value, will also not remain 10. It can become 10.38 or 10.59 or 9.62 or anything. And that is called NAV, net asset value. Net asset value is a price of a unit as per the market price. Is it clear? And AUM is the total investment as per the market price. Now let's say somebody has invested 10 rupees, it becomes 12 rupees, 15 rupees, 30 rupees, 60 rupees. That means you can easily judge that the scheme is doing well. Is it or not? So from the movement of the NAV or AUM, we can judge. So whenever you are going to evaluate any fund, it is not done based on the unit capital. It is based on the AUM and NAV. NAV is a very, very important concept. So in future, whenever we are going to evaluate any fund or calculate return or anything, it is all based on NAV or AUM. So AUM and NAV, these are two very, very important things in a mutual fund. Any question by anybody? कोई सवाल? No question? चलिए. So let's look at the advantages of mutual fund. First one we have already talked about. Mutual fund is managed professionally. The moment I said professionally means every investment decision making is thoroughly research based. So after doing early research only, they decide whether this security or this company is worth investing or not investing either. It is totally process driven. When I'm saying process driven means how the securities are going to be selected, what methodology approach has to be applied, that is also well defined. ऐसा नहीं होता कि आज मैं इसके लिए ऐसे करूंगा उसके लिए ऐसे करूंगा. Everything is totally process driven. So when we are going to talk in the detail in the 10th chapter, I'll be elaborating on these things. Total process driven. The methodology is in the decision making templates are there. Objective driven. Objective, we have already talked about it. So in order to meet the objective, the right type of securities has to be invested. So the first and biggest advantage is the professional management. Can any of these three things, anyone can do it? Individual? Can any individual do it? Give me the answer. Because we had talked about it earlier. Do it yourself or through professional. In any AMC, let me tell you, there is a big research team. Some 70, 80 people are there. All well qualified. With best of the research tools. With best of the IT tools. With all type of information. Can an individual who is a non-professional match with those people? Definitely not. Process is there. The second point is, chaliye, we'll meet after 5:40. And some of you, I'm finding, are yawning. कुछ लोग को जमाई बहुत आ रहा है. तो अभी क्या करना है गोपाल? जिन लोग को जमाई आ रहा है, अरे फिर वही बात, इतना दिमाग लगाते हो यार. पानी से चेहरा धोना है, हद हो गई.
Yes, sir.
All of you, 2-3 बार splash your face with cold water. And I don't want anybody yawning. बहुत लोग मैं देख रहा हूँ, पता नहीं सोए कि नहीं आप लोग. मुझे लगता है ऐसा आंख ऐसा लग रहा है जैसे कि पूरा पता नहीं 2-3 दिन से जगे हुए हैं. वंश तो ऐसा लग रहा है कि पता नहीं, वंश लगता है रात भर कल नेटफ्लिक्स पे मूवी देख रहा था. मतलब जगा हुआ लग रहा है एकदम. So anyway, we'll meet at 5:40 and all of you please come fresh. Everybody is back. Everybody is back. Open your camera once you are back. All of you. All of you open your camera once you are back. All of you open your camera. Think how many people are back now? Only Vatsal. बाकी तो कोई दिख ही नहीं रहा है. नहाने तो नहीं चले गए सब. मैंने चेहरा धोने को बोला था, नहाने को नहीं. चलो एनीवे. How many are back? Smriti, friends, all of you open your camera. One, Mahak. All of you open your camera. Adarsh, Siddharth, Kishan. All of you open your camera. Arjun, Jitesh, Vineet. All of you open your camera. All of you. Vivek. Before others join, any question anybody has got? Maybe we can take it one or two questions. Any one of you? Because others are still joining. Any one of you have got any question? Any question? देखिए मेरे क्लास में बड़ा क्लियर है. Either you ask question or I will ask you question. या तो आप मुझे परेशान करो या मैं आपको परेशान करूंगा. देखो ऑब्जेक्टिव इज वेरी क्लियर. A complete clarity should be there. Tomorrow when each one of you go for a job at Bajaj Capital, I want all of you should look as an expert, not as a novice. And you should be handling all situations. Is it clear? Clarity honi chahiye. How to handle the situation. That's very, very important. Only 21 people have joined. Where are others? Where are others? Mahak, you have not opened your camera. Yeah, good. Vansh, Adarsh, Arjun, Jitesh, open your camera quickly. Boss, we are not going to lose time. Vineet, Jitesh, Arjun, Vansh. All of your camera is closed.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Go
Sir,
ahead. हाँ पूछिए. Go ahead.
सर म्यूचुअल फंड में भी मतलब बहुत सारे स्कीम्स होते हैं, मतलब अप्रोक्स 2000 to 25 स्कीम्स हैं, तो उसमें से बेस्ट हमारे लिए, हमारे गोल के हिसाब से गोल के अकॉर्डिंग कौन सा बेस्ट है, तो वो हम कैसे चूज करेंगे?
अभी तो शुरू हुई है कहानी. प्रिंस, अभी तो सफर शुरू हुई है. चिंता मत करो, अभी बहुत जल्दी बताएंगे. इज इट क्लियर? हाँ. सो अभी तो हमने एसेट पे ही खत्म किया. चलो सो अभी आज ही आपको आ जाएगा. डोंट वरी. So the first advantage is professional management. I mean, because we know risk, I've already talked to you about the risk, and to manage that risk, all these things are research process objective is there. Affordable portfolio diversification on a small amount. I mean, you with as low as 500 rupees, you can invest. I mean, I can give you an example of Nifty index fund. All of us know there are top 50 companies. Even if I buy one stock, it is going to cost me 1,000. और यहाँ पे मैं 500 में पोर्टफोलियो खरीद रहा हूं. बताइए कितने सस्ते का सौदा है. I can start investing in a big basket which is having 30, 40, 50 stocks, all top quality at as low as 500 rupees. So that's another advantage. Economies of scale. Large amount has been mobilized. Money has been invested in large number of securities. So the average cost gets reduced. Again, the concept of wholesale versus retail. Let's say if you are buying Infosys, you are also paying some cost. Demat, broking, all those things are there. But the same Infosys, if it is bought on your behalf in a fund where you have invested, the average cost is less. And the cost has to be borne by the investor. Why? Because investor is the owner in the fund. It's not the AMC which is owner in the fund. Is it clear to all of you? Money is invested on behalf of the investors. AMC is just managing the money. That's all. So owner is the investor. So if the cost gets reduced, then of course the owner who is the investor earns more profit. That's advantages for him. Transparency. Now everything is very clear. Again, Parth was saying about bank FD. Where is Parth? Parth बोल के फंस गया आज.
Sir,
पार्थ बोल के आज फंस गया. Where is Parth?
sir,
दिख नहीं रहा हो पार्थ. लास्ट पेज पे चले गए लगता है.
नहीं सर यही है.
Parth,
Sir,
you go and do FD in bank. Are you having any idea? Bank is giving your money to whom? मेहुल चोकसी के भाई को दे रहा है या नीरव मोदी को भतीजा को दे रहा है? You don't know. You know why I have told that name? When you come to know that only at a later stage, is it or not? We don't know who is taking my money. There is absolutely no transparency, let me tell you. But when you are investing in a mutual fund, everything is before you. Pie to pie money, where it has been invested, that's there before you. 100% portfolio disclosure is before you. 100%. So you can easily judge where the money has been there. Even on the debt side also, how much money is in GSEC, how much money is in AAA, all those things. Security wise, also name is also there. HDFC Bank में कितना पैसा है, Wipro में कितना, everything is before you. So you can easily judge. Large cap में कितना, mid cap में कितना, everything is before you. You can easily judge whether money has been invested in a good quality or bad quality. I mean, generally it is not bad quality, but that before you. On a daily basis, NAV is declared. That means on a daily basis, I can know what is the value of my investment. That much transparency is there. Even
yes,
the
sir.
risk metrics are also there. The volatility, how volatile the fund is, that is also before you every day. So what I'm trying to say, when I'm saying transparency, there is nothing which is hidden. And let me tell you, mutual fund is the most transparent investment vehicle as of now. I don't find any other investment vehicle as transparent as mutual fund. That's one of the very strongest point. But आपके सामने है. If you have invested in a wrong fund, it's your problem. Is it or not? Jitesh? अब आप सड़ा हुआ टमाटर लेके आ जाओ तो गलती किसकी है?
मेरी.
आपकी गलती है. आपको दिख रहा था तो सेम चीज यहाँ पे भी है. Everything is before you. You cannot say. And that is on a disclosure is on the daily basis. Liquidity. Liquidity, I'm looking more for the investor as well as from the fund manager. For an investor, anytime I can buy, anytime I can sell, whenever if I require my money. So there's nothing restriction on that. From the fund manager point of view, also, if money is invested in tradable, marketable security, so fund manager can also buy and sell any point of time. Let's say, for example, if the fund manager has invested in a security and based on his research, the actual or real price should be 120. Let's say, for example, but in the market it is being traded at 180. So he knows it very well. कि boss overvalued है market में. He can sell it and book the profit. Is it clear? Or let's say the price has gone down in the market to 70. He knows it very well. कि इसकी actual price 120 की है और market में वो 70 में available है. He can buy undervalued and gain. So that means fund manager is having this opportunity of enhancing the return by buying undervalued, selling overvalued also. And he's also using this advantage of liquidity because money is invested in a tradable, marketable securities. Tax deferral. Mutual fund legally is a tax, is a trust. And as per income tax rule 1023D all trusts are exempted to pay tax from all their gains, profit, income. Is it clear? Let's say, for example, you as an individual have opened a demat account, broking account, has purchased Infosys. The fund manager has also purchased Infosys on behalf of the fund. You get dividend at some stage. The fund will also get dividend because Infosys has declared the dividend. You end up paying a dividend tax, whereas the fund is not going to pay any dividend tax. You sell it at a later date, at a higher price, end up getting a capital gain, and you pay a capital gain tax. Let's say the fund manager also has sold it at a later date, and he has also got a capital gain, but he's not going to pay any capital gain tax. Can you imagine if somebody has invested for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, particularly in an equity fund, growth fund, assuming that in 1 year there are 250 trading days. अगर 10 साल के लिए भी रखता है पैसा, that means 2500 trading days. Can you imagine a fund of a size of 20,000 crore, 30,000 crore, 40,000 crore? How many times the fund manager might have booked the profit? आप सोचो, अगर मैं 10% भी डिविडेंड एक्सपेक्ट करता हूं तो कितना डिविडेंड आया होगा फंड के अंदर? All in thousands of crore and zero tax paid in that. So tax difference, this is the biggest advantage of mutual fund. Biggest advantage, let me tell you. If I invest directly, I end up paying tax. But here, if I'm investing, my tax is not being paid. So by being in a growth option, I can save tax. And this is one of the biggest advantage. Generally, very few people know about this thing and they market it. Tax benefit, 80C under ELSS. So what is the 80C benefit? Let me see who knows it. What is 80C? Ayushi, what is 80C? Ayushi को बोलने दो. Ayushi, what is 80C? Ayushi, do you know what is 80C?
No, sir, I don't know.
तो फिर कैसे आप बेचोगे इन्वेस्टमेंट प्रोडक्ट, फाइनेंशियल प्रोडक्ट? प्लीज, तभी मैं तो आप लोग को बोलता हूँ कि आप लोग को पूछना चाहिए. अब आप पूछ ही नहीं रहे हो. Somebody should have asked, sir, what is 80C? You're not asking.
So you are coming to it now. Actually.
No, ऐसे नहीं होता भैया.
नहीं
वत्सल
पता.
भाई.
नहीं मैं पूछने लगा था क्या होता है.
Those people who do not
certain
know.
investments पे
No,
deduction
of
मिलते हैं.
course, Vatsal, my job is to make it clear as far as possible, but I don't know what you know, what you don't know. That you know. That you have to ask in case you don't know. So, per income tax rule, from the taxable income to 1.5 lakh can be saved by investing in certain instruments. For example, PPF hai, NSC hai, lot of instruments are there, which are falling under that. Mutual fund ke andar bhi there are few schemes, and one scheme is called ELSS, Equity Linked Savings Scheme, where you can invest. There was also indexation advantage, but unfortunately, I don't know whether to talk it fortunately or unfortunately. That has been withdrawn in last year budget, which was giving indexation benefit. Mind it. And in India, till 2023, there was no financial product which was giving indexation benefit. Indexation benefit, pata hai kya hai? What is the biggest enemy of money? Which is the biggest enemy of money?
Inflation.
And in indexation, you were getting a protection from the inflation. Now that has been withdrawn. वो जब हम टैक्स वाले चैप्टर पे आएंगे तो आई विल एक्सप्लेन यू डिटेल्स. बट दैट इज स्टिल कंटिन्यूइंग फॉर ऑल दोज हु हैव इन्वेस्टेड टिल 31st March 2023. Convenient option, how you want to get a return, whether I want regular income or I want my money to grow. I want my regular income to be reinvested. So choice is with the investor, depending upon what you want. First time, whenever you are investing, a folio is generated. Alphanumeric आपको मिलेगा, which is nothing but a type of identity for you for that investment in that product. In the same folio, I can invest multiple times. I can withdraw also. keeping the minimum balance. That means partial transaction is allowed, depending upon my requirement and tax implication. I can invest online, offline, payment can be done electronically. Regulatory comfort, I mean, SEBI is having a lot of checks and balances, do's and don'ts, which has to be followed. And they are taking care of the interest of investor by having these do's and don'ts. It's not that the fund manager is left to do whatever he wants. SEBI guidelines norms are there and the fund has to operate within that only. I can invest systematically. What is that term called? If I'm investing systematically, every month, some amount.
SIP.
SI, systematic investment plan. I can move systematically some money from one fund to another fund also, which is called STP, systematic transfer plan. I can withdraw also some money systematically, which is called SWP, systematic withdrawal plan. We are going to talk in details in the later chapters. So these are the advantages. Now just tell me, are these advantages enough for anybody to go through mutual fund or not? Questions are asked. Tomorrow, when you are going to actually sell the mutual fund, and if you find maybe your client is not willing or ready, you have to talk about all these things. Is it clear? नहीं clear होगा तो मैं सवाल पूछता रहूंगा फिर clear आपको करा के छोड़ूंगा. चलिए, so this was all about the advantages. Are there some limitations also? Lack of portfolio customization. Now again, the choice is left with the fund manager. Which security to invest in, which not to invest in. It's an investor money, but investor is not asked. Unlike in PMS, in portfolio management service, there is one part where investor view is taken. But in a mutual fund, it's not like that. The fund manager is going to take a call. Now let's say if you want कि SBI होना चाहिए, that's left to the fund manager whether to have SBI in the portfolio or not. But having said that, today you have got all type of funds, varieties of funds, where you can get a portfolio as per your choice. So it's not a limitation in real sense. Now, the moment I said variety of choice, today there are 45 AMCs. Every AMCs are having so many similar products. So 45 similar products are there, let's say. Variety of products are there. Now, when it comes to taking a decision, where to invest, where not to invest, that becomes a problem. But again, having said that, today all of us are living in an internet age, information age. There are a lot of fund tracking companies, Value Search, Money Control, Morningstar. Even all good wealth management distribution companies, they are also having their own internal research team. So all of you don't need to worry about that. Bajaj Capital is also having their own research team and they do the research. And you will be given inputs, guidance about which product to sell, why to sell, all those things will be given to you. So आपको research करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, ठीक है? So even if there is choice overload, that's not a problem. Investors have no control over cost. Now it's investor money and money is being spent by the fund manager. But here SEBI has put a cap. The fund cannot spend money beyond whatever has been stipulated by the regulator, which is SEBI. There is a cap, upper cap. That means the investor is going to bear that much cost. So we are going to talk about detail in coming chapters. Now you have told all those things. आपका इन्वेस्टर तैयार भी हो गया चेक साइन करने को, बट अ टिपिकल इंडियन मेंटालिटी, यार रिटर्न कितना मिलेगा? Now what will be your answer? Ultimately everybody wants good return. So he's going to ask you return कितना मिलेगा? What you are going to, what will be your answer? Anybody?
Should be above FD at least.
अरे आपने तो गारंटी कर दिया, यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है नो गारंटी रिटर्न. तो जब
Sir,
आपने
we
बोल दिया
can say
above FD, एक minute. Above FD, and if FD rate is 6%, in a way you are saying more than 6%.
बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
कौन पढ़ा रहा है भाई? जवाब तो कैसे करोगे आप?
Sir,
Because
maximum.
I know all of you are going to get stuck up here. Because again,
Sir.
typical Indian mentality. So what is the correct answer? What there
सर
is no
लॉन्ग टर्म में
return is
कुछ
not
तो
guaranteed.
रिटर्न होगा।
Maximum also the
Just
return.
one second, hold on. The returns are not guaranteed.
Depends
अब आप
on
जैसे ही बोलोगे सर return is not guaranteed. Now two questions I'm going to ask each one of you. Please all of you pay attention. First question is, why returns are not guaranteed? And the second question is, if the return is not guaranteed, will the investor lose? First question, why returns are not guaranteed? Who is going to answer?
सर
Raise your hand.
Because there is risk.
अरे
Sir.
raise your hand. ऐसे नहीं बोलना है. Raise your hand and then say. Why return is not guaranteed? Arjun, बोलिए.
Sir, return is not guaranteed because there is always some sort of risk present. And secondly,
एक
capital
मिनट अर्जुन,
appreciation
एक
also
मिनट
comes into
अर्जुन,
play.
एक मिनट अर्जुन. What do you think? Bank FD is not having a risk?
Sir, at least also, sorry, sir, can you repeat?
The moment you said risk, I'm asking you a counter question. Does bank FD is not having a risk?
Sir, वैसे technically there is a risk.
टेक्निकली
Technically there
साइड
is
पे
a
कर दीजिए, मुझे सीधा बताइए, बैंक एफडी में रिस्क नहीं है?
risk होता है, risk होता है.
पहली बात, अर्जुन एंड टू ऑल ऑफ यू, you should have a very clear understanding of risk. When you say bank FD is not having a risk, you mean to say bank has told you 6%, you are definitely going to get 6%. यही है ना आपका मतलब? Everybody thinks the same way?
No, sir.
So Mark, what do you think?
Sir, I think because mutual fund have different asset classes in it. That's why risk is diversified and there is no guaranteed returns in terms to it.
नहीं, even in debt also, Mahak, in debt also, forget about equity. In debt also returns are not assured. मैं इक्विटी की बात ही हटा देता हूँ. Even debt also returns are not assured. पहली बात, थोड़ा सा हम रिस्क पे बात करें. What does risk mean? We have already talked so many times. And मैं बार बार आप लोग को रिपीट कर रहा हूं. Please all of you pay attention. Money management is all about risk management. Client management is all about risk management. Please, is it clear to all of you? Parth, client management is all about risk management.
जी सर।
क्लाइंट आपसे नाराज हो गया, क्या होगा?
तो
You
पीठ
know
में
the
आ
answer,
जाएगा
यार.
वैसे,
You know
पीठ
the
में आ
answer.
जाएगा सर।
It's all about risk management, my dear. It's all about risk management. That's
सर
why you people will be called relationship manager. So what is the meaning of relationship manager? What is the word here? Relationship. And what does relationship means? I'm having a very good relationship with that person. What does it mean? I'm having a very bad relationship with that person. What does it mean? बताइए सिंपल ढंग से.
there's some trust built
मतलब
between that
संबंध अच्छे
person.
हैं यार, हम एक दूसरे
संबंध
पे
अच्छे हैं।
विश्वास करते हैं.
सर वही होगा ट्रस्ट।
अरे
एंड और सर क्वेश्चन का आंसर कि
अरे वो बाद में पहले रिलेशनशिप वाला पार्ट क्लियर कर ले. बिकॉज देखो क्लैरिटी आप लोग को होनी चाहिए अपने रोल, जॉब रोल प्रोफाइल. Because all of you are, when you are going to join, you have to handle client. Let's be very clear. Anybody who's joining in bank or NBFCs or any company, even AMCs also, same thing is with the Bajaj Capital also. You are a relationship manager. So the relationship manager, relation is the word, very key word. And what do we mean by relationship? As I told you, I've got a very good relationship. I've got a very bad relationship. मतलब क्या है? संबंध अच्छे नहीं है, खराब है. So relationship का बेस क्या होता है? Good relationship. What is the base?
Compatibility.
Bad relationship. What is the base?
Compatibility.
Compatibility, trust, faith, comfort level, all these factors are there. Please.
Communication is not even.
So ultimately, Mahak, all these things वहीं पे आ गया ना. You are managing the risk.
Yes, sir.
देखो आप लोग रिस्क को बस एक ही ढंग से समझते हो. नुकसान हो गया मतलब रिस्क. अरे भैया आपके किसी भी हरकत से क्लाइंट खो दोगे तो वो भी नुकसान ही है.
Yeah.
Why you always think risk always means loss of money?
क्लाइंट को खो देंगे
अपने
क्या?
दोस्त को कुछ उल्टा सीधा बोल दिया, दोस्त खो दिया, वो भी नुकसान ही है. अरे
Correct, sir.
प्लीज थिंक फ्रॉम अ नॉर्मल पर्सपेक्टिव. आप लोग ज्यादा ज्ञानी मत बनो. सिंपल ढंग से सोचो, एकदम नॉर्मल आदमी की तरह. चलो, तो ये तो क्लियर हो गया. सो अल्टीमेटली योर जॉब इज व्हाट? यू आर अ रिस्क मैनेजर.
Yes, sir.
Everything is managing risk. Please mind my word. Everything is managing risk. क्योंकि रिस्क हम लोग हमेशा नेगेटिव ढंग से देखते हैं. सो एवरीथिंग इज मैनेजिंग द रिस्क. नाउ बैंक में, एज आई टोल्ड यू, पीपल थिंक if I've invested in bank, risk is not there. Is it true?
समय.
Yes, Parth, go ahead, boss.
सर
Open
आपने
है.
बताया था कि आपने बताया था कि वो एफडी तो वैसे ही सेफ नहीं होता, बट एक काउंटर क्वेश्चन और है कि जो पैसा आप वैसे ही सेविंग अकाउंट में डाल दो, क्या वो भी पूरी तरह तो सेफ होता नहीं होगा कि कोई भी इंसान भले वो एफडी के अंदर ना करे.
वो मैं आपको
वैसे.
जब मैं बात जब मैं रिटायरमेंट प्लानिंग वाला करूंगा ना, तो आपको कुछ आई ओपनिंग डेटा बताऊंगा. तब आपको दिखेगा. यहाँ पे तो नहीं है, बिकॉज वी आर टू कवर NISM 5A. आई विल बी ऑल्सो टेकिंग रिटायरमेंट प्लानिंग सेशन एंड आई विल बी शोइंग यू लॉट ऑफ आई ओपनिंग डेटा. आपकी सारी गलतफहमी दूर हो जाएगी उस पर.
तो
बहुत सारी
जो.
गलतफहमी दूर हो जाएगी आप लोगों की. बिकॉज वी इंडियंस वी आर लिविंग अंडर लॉट ऑफ मिथ. चलिए, लेट्स गो बैक टू अगेन. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, व्हाई आई एम इन्वेस्टिंग. आप लोग फिर वही बेसिक पे मैं आपको लेके जा रहा हूं. आई एम इन्वेस्टिंग बिकॉज आई वॉन्ट a desired or required amount of money at some time to meet my goal. यही है ना? This is the simplest reason. Now let me ask you, please all of you pay attention. Anybody who's saying bank FD is safe, it's a wrong. You have invested 100 rupees today. Please all of you pay attention. Bank told you was I'm going to give you 6% interest over it. So after a year, when you go to the bank, bank is going to give you 106 rupees. 100 was your own money, 6 is what bank gave you. But you are going to use that money for some purpose. So after a year, when you go to the bank, inflation, because of inflation, the purchasing of power of money got changed. So what was 100 rupees a year back is equivalent to 105 rupees or 106 rupees, let's say. Assuming that you got 6% return, which bank guaranteed you, and the inflation was 5%. So now you've got 6 rupees, 6% or 1%.
1%.
तो भैया मैंने आपको बोला मैं दूंगा आपको 10 रुपया. आप सोचो थोड़ी देर के लिए. आपके जेब में 10 रुपया डाल भी दिया और दूसरे हाथ से मैंने जेब में से आपके 8 रुपया निकाल लिया, तो आप कैसे समझ रहे हो कि आपके जेब में 10 रुपया है? अरे यार, हद हो गई बात. अगर मैं ऐसे करूं, 10 रुपया डालूं आपके जेब में और 8 रुपया निकाल लूं, और फिर मैं आपसे बोलूं कि बॉस आपके जेब में 10 रुपया है, विल यू अग्री? विल यू अग्री? Then how you are thinking you have got that much? So how it is safe? Because I invested because I wanted this much of money. And when the purchasing power of money is got eroded, I'm not getting the desired amount of money. How it is safe? Give me the answer. We are considering safe because bank has told me 6%. अरे भैया, safety has to be looked from your perspective. पैसा किसका? जवाब दीजिए.
क्लाइंट का.
तो दुखी कौन होगा? खुश कौन होगा? बैंक या क्लाइंट? तो रिस्क किसकी देखनी है आपको? Is this clear to all of you? So don't ever think कि बैंक एफडी भी सेफ रिस्क नहीं है. This is a wrong notion. Clarity is there or not? Please ask me if this is not clear. Because why I'm asking, why I'm telling you all these things, your client will say, अरे boss, यहाँ पे returns are not guaranteed. Bank is giving me a guaranteed return. I'm going to bank. So you have to tell him, sir, bank has told you 6%, but in reality, are you getting 6% first of all? You're not getting 6%. And longer the period, the impact of inflation is also more. So you will always get a positive notional return. Please mind my word. But what matters to you is the real rate of return. जो हमने already first chapter में किया था. That means at any point of time, the definition of safety is what? Inflation has to be protected. Is it or not? That means you should get a positive real rate of return. When the interest rate is declining, the trend is declining in long term, am I going to get 20 years down the line a positive rate of return? Give me the answer. So how it is safe? So first question, in order to counter if somebody talks about the bank. Now please ask, give me the answer of these two questions. Why returns are not guaranteed in a mutual fund? अरे यार बहुत सिंपल आंसर है भाई मेरे. आप लोग ज्यादा फाइनेंशियल एक्सपर्ट हो जाते हो इसलिए जवाब नहीं दे पा रहे हो.
Sir, because there is risk and they are investing in business and all.
No, because money is invested in tradable marketable securities. सिंपल आंसर है. आपको बता देता हूं मैं. Anything which is being bought and sold in the market, the price is decided by the market. Is it or not? And since the price is decided by the market, all of us know it, there are so many factors which impacts the market. Sentiment, so many factors are there. So how you can assure the return? Prices can go up and go down also. So the answer for the first question is very clear. Why returns are not guaranteed? Now, your client can ask you, if the return is not guaranteed, am I going to lose money? Now, what will be your answer? Raise your hand and say. I don't want everybody. Raise your hand and say.
So we can show.
Answer, raise your hand.
So
ऐसे नहीं.
shall I?
हाँ, but आपका दिख नहीं रहे हो. कहाँ हो आप? Mahak. Yes, Mahak, go ahead. Go ahead, Mahak. Mahak,
So
go
we can
ahead.
assure them by showing. So we can assure them by showing them previous data and
अरे
like ways.
अरे previous आपको जरूरी है कि previous वो believe कर जाएगा. अरे बस previous somebody had invested in 1980, he's got that laddu today. I am going to get my laddu in 2044. अरे so how I am concerned about that? He will not get convinced.
And also we can
Mahak, मैं आपको
let
बताऊंगा
the
reason. Yes, you can say about that, but after some time, not immediately. So first of all,
And
let's make
can we show
very
them the
clear.
market
Please, all of you
trend?
pay attention. All of you pay attention. Because आपको ज्यादा मैं इसमें क्योंकि बहुत समय लग जाएगा. Returns are not guaranteed because money is invested in tradable marketable securities. That's very clear. Now let me ask you a very simple question. In a market, so many things are being bought and sold. I'm just going to stick about the quality part. Are good things bought and sold or bad things bought and sold on a regular basis? Good or bad? Give me the answer. चलो छोटा सा एग्जांपल दे देता हूं. चलो. All of you
Sure.
went outside your flat. Just hold on. And there is one ठेला वाला who is selling सड़ा हुआ आम. Can he continue to sell सड़ा हुआ आम, rotten mangoes regularly? Can he continue to sell? Give me the answer.
He is free to, sir. वो खड़ा
He
रह
is free to. मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ, आप खरीदोगे? फिर वही बात।
नहीं सर, हम नहीं।
फिर तो जब जब आप नहीं खरीदोगे तो भाई यश क्यों खरीदेगा? अरे सिद्धार्थ क्यों खरीदेगा? बता दे यार। आप अपने बारे में बोल रहे हो कि मैं नहीं कर दूंगा, तो बाकी लोग भी नहीं तो बुद्धिमान है ना यार। तो प्लीज रिमेंबर वन थिंग, in a market all type of products are being bought and sold, first of all, good, bad, everything. But you cannot continue to sell a bad thing regularly for long. Maybe you can fool people once or twice, not. Now the same logic applies here also. Money is invested after doing a thorough research in good quality only. First of all, it is not invested in a bad company. That's one thing. That means, of course, growth will be there. Now, if growth is going to be there, money is going to be invested in good quality. Are you going to lose? Give me the answer. Are you going to lose?
No.
Definitely not. But still, when you can lose? When you can lose? When you
COVID
have
like
not when you have not taken a correct decision on the asset based on the time when he wants. Is it clear? अगर उसको 1 महीने बाद चाहिए और आपने इक्विटी फंड उसको, इवन लार्ज कैप फंड आल्सो, इफ यू हैव सोल्ड इट, large cap, let me tell you, all nifty stocks, and if the market goes down, of course he's going to lose. Can you blame the nifty stocks? Can you blame the nifty stocks? Only you are to be blamed, because you have taken a wrong decision. Because it is but evident that equity is very risky in short term. And just now I said what? You people are risk manager. What does that mean? Give me the answer. That means you are going to manage the risk of your client. Your client requirement is liquid, safe growth. And that's where you have to look at it. So your answer to the client will be, yes, sir, prices can go up and down. It will happen, but I will not let you lose money. Your client will ask you how. You are going to tell him, sir, I know the asset characteristics. I know equity is very risky in short term. The safest asset in short term is debt. So based on when you require money, I'm not going to expose your money to that asset risk. Is it clear? Clarity आपको होना चाहिए. You also know that market and economy moves in cycle. All those things you know it. So taking all these things, you will be doing a right asset allocation. We have already talked about it. It's strategic asset allocation. So once right asset selection, right product selection. Today we have already talked about, we are living in an information age. Which fund is good, which fund is not good. Every clarity is there. So first the asset selection has to be right. That's first thing. And whatever asset you have selected, the product, there also you have to go to select the good quality one. So once you do it, of course, the client is not going to lose. Any question?
if then also loss happens, what do we have to say to them? Like
कब लॉस कब होगा?
how will we tackle them
कब होगा लॉस?
after after proper asset allocation and characterizing asset?
जोर से बोलो यार,
And
आवाज नहीं आ रही है आपकी, आवाज नहीं आ रही, बहुत धीमे से बोल रहा हूँ.
सर अगर बाद में भी लॉस हुआ तो how
हाँ,
will we tackle them
बाद में कैसे लॉस होगा?
अगर
मैंने क्या
होता है
बोला अभी?
लाइक
शॉर्ट टर्म.
लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए?
एक मिनट, एक मिनट, एक मिनट. Please, this is a very, very important point. Let's say the client wants money after 20 years. So where you are going to put the money? Which asset?
Equity.
Of course, you're right. But the moment client reaches 18th year, 19th year, now what risk we have talked about just now? Equity is risky in short term. So here, now you have to look the short term only. Is it clear? So now if the short term is
Yes,
less
sir.
within that zone, what you are going to do? You are going to move money towards the safer asset, which is debt. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So when irrespective of whatever the market or economy is, once let's say you have moved towards the safer asset, where is will be the loss? Already we have talked about STP, all those things. We are going to talk in detail. So your answer will be, sir, I am your risk manager. Please again, I'm making it very clear. I am going to do a right asset allocation for you. The asset, looking at its characteristic, so debt in short term, equity in long term. But he will ask you, yes, equity, when I reach my goal, then again, maybe at that time it can be risky, yes. But when you're going to reach your goal, I'll move it toward the safer asset. And that's what I was telling. Investment decision is not about when you're making the investment. It is a journey. याद कीजिए मैंने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले बोला था, it's a journey. And your job is you are associated in that journey throughout. Is it clear? Now, in a mutual fund, who is the owner? Who is the owner in the fund? Yeah,
Investors.
investor. Asset management company is just the manager. Have you seen any business in the world where the manager is going to decide how much profit the owner will be earning? You won't find any business. It's the other way around. Owner decides how much salary the manager will be getting. So यहाँ पे आप owner हो, that means you have got every chance to maximize your profit. Is it clear? The manager, which is the asset management company, which are the asset managers, they charge only a limited fee. That means all profit belongs to the investor. That means you have got a scope of maximizing your return. Is it or not? So on the upside, you have got that opportunity. Now let me give you another logic. Let's say somebody is very interested in guarantee. Mutual fund says, okay, fine. Like bank FD, we are going to guarantee you 8%. Assume that the fund return is 15%. So will you be happy getting 8% or 15%? जवाब दीजिए. You will be happy getting 8% or 15%?
58.
नहीं 8% or 15%. 58 मैंने नहीं बोला है.
15.
So then why you want a guaranteed return then? Correct? When you are getting an opportunity to maximize your gain, then why you want a guarantee? प्लीज आप लोग एक चीज ध्यान रखो, जहां पे भी गारंटी होता है वहां पे रिटर्न लिमिटेशन होता है. सो इन अ बैंक एफडी देयर इज अ रिटर्न लिमिटेशन. आपको उतना ही मिलेगा जितना बैंक ने बोला है. Whereas जहां पे गारंटीड नहीं है, there is a scope of even enhancing your return. And that's why I said mutual fund is a product which gives you best possible return after managing all this. I've never said you highest return, best possible return. So no guaranteed return is good or bad now? Let me ask you. Is good or bad?
Both.
No. यार आप लोग इतना समझाने के बाद भी बोथ बोल रहे हो यार. Who said that both? Who has said both? अरे नाम बताओ ना. सिद्धार्थ आपने बोला था.
नो सर.
तो किसने बोला था? गोपाल. नहीं डरो मत ना.
नो सर.
अरे तो फिर वो चुप क्यों हो गया आदमी जिसने बोला? बट क्लैरिटी रखो यार प्लीज. No guaranteed return does not mean you are going to lose. Please I'm making it very clear. You will lose only when if you take a wrong decision. That's all. Wrong decision means wrong selection. starting from asset, product. Wrong decision when you have not safeguarded your growth, when you're near to your goal. Everything goes to wrong decision only. Please, let me tell you. If you take a right decision, you're never going to lose money. And you've got every opportunity to maximize the return also. And that's what your role is. Your role is you are a risk manager of your client's money. Risk manager of your client money. Your job is not to give him the highest return. ये बोलना भी मत उसको. ये गलती मत करना आप लोग. Don't try to become God. Only God knows what is the best. Your job is to give him, protect his risk. And this risk is very simple. Liquid, safe growth whenever he wants. Is it clear? So anybody who told no guaranteed return can be negative also, maybe that person has not understood, has not paid attention. I'm very sorry. आपका ध्यान कहीं और रहेगा तो ये सब चीज आपको नहीं समझ में आएगा. You have to pay attention. Casually मत बोला करो कोई बात. If you have not understood, ask me twice, thrice. But don't say anything wrong. Is it clear to all of you? Is it clear to all of you? आप गलती करोगे तो नुकसान होगा यार. फिर तो फंड तो थोड़े जिम्मेदार ठहराओगे. गलती आप करो और नुकसान. Can you hold the fund responsible? No. So no guaranteed return is good from every aspect. चलिए. Type of schemes, open-ended, close-ended, interval. Please keep asking question. और थोड़ा ध्यान भी दीजिए. ऐसे ही मत हवा में बात कर दीजिए. क्योंकि मैंने इतना 10 मिनट तक समझाया, 15 मिनट तक, and suddenly somebody saying knows at both ways. That means that person was not at all attentive. पता नहीं कहीं और था, सपने में था. I'm very sorry. ध्यान से आप शुरू होते हैं ना तो आप बोलते ही नहीं ये बात. प्लीज पे अटेंशन. और फिर दोबारा मत बोलना कि नहीं नहीं सर, नो guaranteed return means loss. If you have still not understood, please ask me. Please ask me. हाँ, ध्यान दो पहली बात. This you have to pay attention. Open-ended, anytime you can buy, anytime you can sell. There's no maturity date. It's open throughout. Close-ended scheme, there is a fixed maturity. Money is taken during NFO. After that, no fresh money is taken. It is having a fixed maturity. That means at the maturity, the fund is going to pay back, return the money. Whereas in open-ended, anytime I can buy and sell. Now, since let's say somebody has invested in a close-ended fund with a 3-year maturity, and so let's say after 6 months he wants the money. Now, how he is going to get it? Because liquidity becomes an issue here. So, in order to provide liquidity to such investors, SEBI has made it mandatory that each and every close-ended scheme has to be listed in stock exchange. So, once it is listed in stock exchange, then you can sell it to anybody who is ready to buy. That means A is going to buy from B, C is going to sell to D. Is it clear? So liquidity is provided through the stock exchange.
Could you come again with funds? I did not get close funds.
क्या हुआ?
Close net funds एक बार repeat कर दीजिए. I lost you.
नहीं भाई, देखो बार बार मैं रिपीट नहीं करूंगा. आप लोगों को तो ध्यान देना पड़ेगा. Because I am speaking in very simple words. Please pay attention. Close-ended scheme has to be listed in stock exchange. Why? Because money will be paid only at maturity. And listing helps liquidity, to provide liquidity to the investor. That means he can sell it to some other person and get out. Because liquidity is something which has to be offered. So only name can change. Prince has sold it to XYZ. Or Smriti has bought it from Tanisha. Is it clear? The unit capital remains the same. Outstanding unit remains the same. That does not change. Because the fund is not paying. Fund is going to make payment only at the end of maturity, when whatever is there. Interval fund is having a mix of both. Open-ended as well as close-ended. For example, let's say first 5 days of the month, it will be acting as open-ended. Remaining days, it will be acting as a close-ended. So it has got a feature of both. When it is acting like open-ended, it is called a transaction period. And as per SEBI regulation, it has to be open for minimum 2 days whenever it opens. When it is acting like a close-ended, it is called interval period. And the minimum gap between two transaction period, that means the interval period has to be of 15 days minimum. That's the SEBI regulation. And it has got the feature of both open-ended and close-ended. So this is more from the entry-exit point of view, from the liquidity point of view. From the fund management point of view, the classification is actively and passively. Based on the research input, the fund manager is going to construct a portfolio based on the research input as per the investment objective. Since more buying and selling will happen, the expense will be high. So this is being managed actively. So fund manager is having view about the market, economy, all those things, company specific, and he will take the decision. What to buy, when to buy, what to sell, when to sell, all those decisions. So it is being actively managed. Passive managed fund, the one portfolio is already there. For example, Nifty. So Nifty, how many stocks are there?
100 something.
100. Yeah.
50,000.
50.
Yeah, please. थोड़ा सा knowledge brush up कीजिए आप
50.
लोग. 100 नहीं है, 50 है. So in a Nifty, 50 stocks and different stocks have got different proportion. Let's say, for example, SBI is having 3% weightage. Infosys is having 7% weightage. So like you've got weightage. So there could be a Nifty index fund. It's a passive fund. Same 50 stocks in the same proportion will be there. Is it clear? That means here the basket is known. And same way investment has to be done. So role of research is not there. Fund is not being managed actively. Only it will be rebalanced. That's all. Now, since no active buying and selling is happening, the expense will also be less. Now, SEBI has made it mandatory that for every scheme, in order to help the investor take a decision from the risk perspective, from the return perspective, there has to be a comparative benchmark. Please, all of you, pay attention. So we have been hearing this sentence, mutual fund is subject to market risk. So ultimately, any fund, wherever it is invested, there is some market. For example, let's say IT fund. The market is IT. Large cap fund, the market is large cap. So there is some market. And lot of indices are being made by BSE, NSE. So one benchmark has to be selected. We'll be talking in detail in chapter 11. And in an active fund, it is expected that the fund manager is going to deliver a return better than the benchmark. That means better than the market. So let's say if the benchmark or the market has given 15% return, it is expected that the fund should give a return more than 15% in an active fund. Whereas in a passive fund, since same stock in same proportion, then return has to be identical. Is it or not? Same stock in same proportion, you cannot have difference. So in a passive fund, it mirrors the benchmark or index return. Is it clear? So ये from the fund management के हिसाब से. Third classification is based as per the investment universe. Whether the money has been invested in debt or equity, or within that debt also you've got sub assets. Same way in equity also. Now SEBI has classified mutual fund into 5 parts: equity, debt, hybrid, solution, and further also subcategories are there. So before we talk about equity, we also know there is something called large cap, mid cap, small cap. So the clarity should be there. What is large cap? What is mid cap? What is small cap? The top 100 companies as per the full market capitalization is called large cap. What is market capitalization? Anybody knows, or what you want me to tell?
The
जल्दी
price of
बोलिए,
per share into number of
जोर से बोलिए यार।
total share in the
हाँ, कौन बोल रहा है? नाम लेके बोलो।
difference.
कौन?
Difference.
इतना धीरे से बोले। हाँ, व्हाट इज मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन?
The number of per share or price of per share into number of total share available in the market.
Yes, very good, very good, Prince. Prince, you have given the answer.
Yes, sir.
Very good, absolutely. So, we know what is the number of outstanding share in the market, and market price is no. So, as told by Prince, if you multiply the number of outstanding share by the price per share, that's called the market capitalization. So, let's say from number one, from the top, if you go down, top 100 companies is called large cap. 101 to 250, mid cap. And beyond 251 is called small cap. So, the universe is well identified. What is a large cap? What is mid cap? What is small cap? Now, you have got a large cap fund. The rule is very simple. Minimum 80% of the money of the fund, whatever is there, has to be invested in that large cap universe. This large cap universe, which is identified. Mid cap fund, minimum 65%, minimum, has to be invested in the mid cap universe. Same way, small cap, minimum 65% in that small cap universe. Large and mid cap fund, minimum 35%, each in large and mid cap. That means 70% money will be in equity, minimum. Multi cap fund, minimum 25% in each of these caps. That means 25% in large cap, 25% in mid cap, and 25% in small cap. That means 75% here has to be in equity. Flexi cap, minimum 65% will be invested in equity of any cap. तो यहाँ पे कोई cap का आपको distinction नहीं है. So within this 65%, that's minimum. It can be 70% also, it can be 80% also. So here SEBI has classified the universe as well as what should be the minimum allocation of money. So here 65% of any cap will be there. Dividend yield fund, 65% minimum to be invested in a dividend paying stocks. Value or contra fund. Now SEBI has made it very clear you cannot launch both, either value or contra. We need to distinguish between the two. Value means money is invested in large, profitable, stable companies, but purchased at a low price, discounted price. Now, anything which is good, large, profitable, stable company, that's good. If it is available at a low price, risk is more or less if you invest in that fund. I'm talking with respect to within equity.
It's less.
Within equity, risk, if I compare with other funds, is risk less or more? When I compare with other funds, mid cap, small cap, like the other, large, profitable, stable companies at a low price.
Risk is less,
Risk,
ना?
risk is less, यार. आपको हीरा सस्ते में मिल रहा है यार, तो रिस्क तो कम ही हुआ ना यार. अच्छी चीज सस्ते में मिल रहा है, अब इससे ज्यादा क्या चाहिए आपको? So, but why SEBI has made that either launch value or contra, not both? What is contra after all? In contra also, money is invested in lower priced or undervalued stock, but it is out of favor. When I'm saying out of favor, 20 people are not looking at that stock. And maybe one person is thinking, okay, it's worth investing. Now the question arises, why 20% are ignoring that stock? And why one person is interested to invest in that stock? Obviously, it has to be company specific reason. So value fund, please all of you pay attention. When it is undervalued, it is because of economic and market reasons. Let's say if there is a slowdown, recession, then of course prices goes there down. Or let's say if the market is in a bearish phase, then prices will be down. But all of us know market moves in cycle. So what is bad today will not remain bad always. It is going to bounce back. So you are going to get a good gain sooner or later. But when I'm talking about a contra fund, and I said it is out of favor, that means it is ignored by others. It is not because of market or economic reason. It is because of company specific reason. Now, the big question mark is maybe there can be revival of that company, or maybe that company can die. It could be both ways, no? Is it or not? कंपनी रिवाइव भी कर सकता है और कंपनी डूब भी सकता है, दोनों हो सकता है. रिवाइव हो गया तो बहुत अच्छा, डूब गया तो everything is lost. And since people invest just looking at the return only, और यह सस्ता है, तो प्लीज एक प्रिंसिपल ध्यान रखिएगा, हर सस्ता चीज अच्छा नहीं होता. इज इट क्लियर? Is it clear? Not necessarily everything which is available at a cheap price is good. Because bad quality things are also available at a cheap price. And since people should not, or investors should not get into this trap, that's why SEBI has made it very clear. A fund house can launch either value or contra, not both. Because people can get confused between the two funds. Any question?
So this last line that you said, not all undervalued securities or cheap securities or cheap things are good, right?
Yeah,
So this
yeah.
this goes against what you initially said, ना कि कोई large cap कोई भी large cap stock है and that वो सस्ते में मिल रहा है. So that large cap वाला thing needs to be added to make it clear if it's good or not, to judge its
That's
quality.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying ना कि हर सस्ता चीज अच्छा नहीं था. मैंने यही बात बोला आपको ना. हर सस्ता चीज मैंने बोला अच्छा नहीं होता है. आप समझो इस बात को. Something is undervalued. It could be because of economic reason. It could be because of market reason. It could be because of company specific reason. Is it or not?
Yes.
Because today we are living in a very competitive environment, my dear. Maybe new companies have come and they have taken the market share. Their products are much better than what you are providing. Their services are much better, and you are losing your clients. Your sales are going down. It can happen or not. Maybe the product quality. Have you heard the what 20-25 years back? Which TV company was there in India? सुना है कोई नाम? ओनिडा. कहाँ है ओनिडा भी आज?
ऑस्कर.
बीपीएल.
बीपीएल कहाँ है आज? Let's talk about car. Fiat, Ambassador, where are they?
Fiat.
Ambassador, where are they? Can happen, the boss. I can give you a number of examples. If you go industry wise, a number of examples I can give you. So not necessarily companies do die also. It could be any reason. I mean, so that's why I said contra fund is a risky fund within equity. Value is not risky because both are undervalued, but the reason of being undervalued is different. Is it clear? Is it clear? So contra fund is highly risky, whereas value fund is not risky. Then you have got focused fund. Maximum 30 stocks has to be invested, and the area of focus is well defined. Where the focus will be. Maybe large cap, maybe mid cap. The focus area is well identified. There also minimum 65% money has to be invested in that. Then you have got sectoral and thematic fund. IT, pharma, banking, these are all sector funds. Catering to a particular industry, FMCG, entertainment, education, infrastructure. These are all thematic funds. That means catering to some particular theme. Then you have got equity linked savings scheme, which is a tax saving scheme. Under ATC, you can invest and take tax advantage. But there is a statutory lock-in of 3 years. You cannot withdraw the money before 3 years. As per the, and this 3 years lock-in is not imposed by the regulator SEBI. Please, in whichever scheme, if you are taking a tax advantage under ATC, as per IT rule, lock-in is there. So lock-in of 3 years is there. Here also minimum 80% has to be invested in equity. So this was all about equity. Whichever equity you select, it has to be short term or long term. Short term or long term?
लॉन्ग टर्म
Long term यार.
लॉन्ग टर्म
हम लोग बहुत पीछे चल रहे हैं भाई. आप लोग को थोड़ा स्पॉन्टेनियस होना पड़ेगा. बताने की जरूरत नहीं है. लॉन्ग टर्म इक्विटी इज नेवर मेंट फॉर शॉर्ट टर्म. प्लीज. अगर आपका कोई क्लाइंट बोले बॉस मैं इक्विटी फंड में डाल के शॉर्ट टर्म में जाना चाहता हूं, तो आप उसको बोलिए कि भाई साहब ओपन अ डीमैट अकाउंट, ब्रोकिंग अकाउंट एंड डू स्टॉक ट्रेडिंग. इज इट क्लियर? Equity fund in a mutual fund is meant for long. If somebody wants to capitalize on volatility through equity in short term, then it is not the equity mutual fund. Then he should go to the direct stock trading. Is it clear? और फिर वहां पे आप you know what are the risks. You handle the risk. Choice is yours. तो ये चीज क्लियर हो गया? Any question on equity? So we look at it, you have got varieties of fund. Every type of funds you are, whatever you want to select, it's there. Now let's comes to the debt fund. Debt is meant for long term or short term?
short term.
Short term.
Short term.
Please all of you pay attention. बहुत important है. Because everything is related to risk only. Please. Because generally we invest for return. That's but obvious. But return is a function of risk. Return is a function of risk. So if I'm expecting whatever return, then I should know the risk also. And that's why I'm emphasizing on the risk. Risk is maximum in the short term. Shortest the term, more is the risk. Is it clear? Shortest the term, more is the risk. For example, in 1 day return, risk is maximum. 1 month, risk reduces. And what is the definition of risk which I asked you? मैं देखूं कितने लोगों को याद है. We have already talked about it. What is risk?
Uncertainty.
Uncertainty, of course. Uncertainty. Now, when you are investing, generally you expect. देखो हम लोग हर चीज में एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं. Is it or not? पिता अपने बेटे से एक्सपेक्ट करता है, बेटा अपने पिताजी से एक्सपेक्ट करता है. ये पूरा जो जिंदगी है वो एक्सपेक्टेशन मैनेजमेंट पे है. बीवी अपने हस्बैंड से एक्सपेक्ट करती है, वत्सल की गर्लफ्रेंड वत्सल से एक्सपेक्ट करती है. इज इट और नॉट? यस, लाइफ इज ऑल अबाउट एक्सपेक्टेशन. देखो आप समझो इस चीज को. लाइफ इज ऑल अबाउट रिस्क मैनेजमेंट, लाइफ इज ऑल अबाउट एक्सपेक्टेशन मैनेजमेंट. यही होता है ना. हम लोग नाराज हो जाते हैं, क्यों भैया? अरे यार उसने मेरे साथ ऐसा किया. क्योंकि हम एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे थे. यार उसने मुझे ज्यादा ध्यान नहीं दिया, उसको ज्यादा ध्यान दिया. बिकॉज वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग. इट्स ऑल अबाउट expectation. So in investment also you are expecting. But in a mutual fund, the problem is returns are not assured. So what should be the basis of your expectation? Generally, our basis of the expectation is something on the long term. ठीक है यार, long term में 10 आया था, 15 से, तो you have some expectation. But what you are going to get, again, nobody knows. So risk in a financial terms mean getting different from what you are expecting. Is it clear? Risk means getting different from what you are expecting. So आप expect, देखो बैंक एफडी को क्यों लोग रिस्क नहीं समझते हैं? The reason is very simple. Because bank manager told you 6%, you are expecting also 6%, and bank gives you also 6%. That's why majority of the people think bank is not risky, which is wrong. Ultimately, you have to look risk from your perspective. That means from the investor perspective. But in a mutual fund, returns are not assured. Your expectation is based on some historical past. And what you are going to get, you know. So larger the gap between the expectation and realization, more is the risk. Is it clear? So naturally, in the equity, you cannot say anything. And in short term, sentiment prevails more than the fundamentals. And that's why equity is very, very risky in short term. Always to be avoided. But in short term, which is the best asset? Debt. Why? Because in debt, there is assurance of some cash flow. Is it or not? The features are well stated. What will be the coupon rate? When the coupon will be paid? Frequency of coupon? What is the maturity? When the principal will be paid? That means the cash flow is known. But within short term also, let's say, as I told you, there is a risk. Let's say 1 day risk, 1 month, 1 year, 2 year. The risk is not the same. Risk is maximum in 1 day. Is it clear? Now, when you are investing in a debt fund, basically you are looking for safety. And look at the funds. We are starting from overnight funds. It is meant for 1 day. So the money is invested in the safest of the asset with zero credit risk, zero interest rate risk. It's all invested in a discounted paper. Absolutely no risk. Now look for liquid fund. Money is invested in, again here also, in the safest of the debt papers with a maturity up to 91 days. Ultra short duration with a macroless duration between 3 to 6 months. Low duration fund with a macroless duration between 6 months to 12 months. Money market up to 1 year. Short duration fund 1 to 3 years. So you look at all the funds.
So
Please
what's
एक बात का ध्यान दीजिएगा. Just hold on. But sir, we have to finish. Then I'll take your question. In equity, we had never talked about the time. आपने ध्यान दिया था. हमने time बात की नहीं थी. याद है आपको? But here we are talking about the time. And as I told you, risk is maximum in short term. Now, if you look at all the funds, it is clearly identified. Macroless duration between the year is given. Now, please all of you pay attention. It is a very, very important thing which I want to tell you. First of all, what is Macaulay's duration? यही पूछना चाह रहे थे वत्सल.
Yes, sir.
आपकी मन की बात मैं समझ गया. इसीलिए मैं मोदी जी की तरह मन की बात करने वाला हूं आपकी. चिंता न करो. Now, please all of you pay attention. Let's take example of ultra short duration fund. So as per SEBI, the fund should have a macroless duration between 3 to 6 months. It means the fund manager is going to invest money in different debt securities of varying maturity, varying coupon rate, varying proportion of money, all those things will be there. But on a weighted average method, the cash flow which has to come should come between 3 to 6 months. Is it clear? आपने debt fund में invest किया है. Like you, thousands of people have invested in an ultra short duration fund. The fund manager has invested in different debt securities. But on a weighted average method, the cash flow which has to come in the fund has to come between 3 to 6 months. Same way, आपका low duration, 6 months to 12 months. So now again, I'm going to ask you one question. बहुत important है, please ध्यान दीजिएगा. The moment somebody says, I want to invest, what is the first question we should be asking to that person? Apart from objective?
duration of investment?
Sir, when you want that? When you want that? It's very simple. Now let's say if that person says, after 7 months, then which product?
Low duration fund.
Either you can say low duration or somebody can say even ultra short duration. Okay. But will you say medium duration? Or will you say long duration? अगर आप बोलते हो तो फिर गलत है, फिर then that's why I said that's where your role is. Vatsal, you are a risk manager of your client. Safe liquid growth. अब समझ में आई बात? दही भले अगर वो चाहिए उसको तो ढोकला नहीं खिलाना जबरदस्ती, ध्यान रखो इस बात का. हाँ. Then don't blame the fund. It's the wrong decision making, and people have lost money because of wrong decision. Please let me tell you, not because of the fund. Fund will be like that only. So if you look at it, it's very clear. You should ask him when you want money. And come rule again. I'm using the word match the client horizon with the duration of the fund. Is it clear? Is it clear? In a debt fund, you are not looking for maximizing the return. Sorry, for maximization of return, it's equity. Debt is meant for safe. तो क्लियर हो गया यहाँ पे आपको, अलग अलग फंड्स के आपके अलग अलग हैं. ठीक है. आप एक चीज गौर करना आप लोग, मीडियम ड्यूरेशन में एज पर सेबी रेगुलेशन the macros duration between should be between 3 to 4 years, but under anticipated adverse situation the fund is allowed to have a macros duration between 1 to 4 years. Same way if you look at it in a medium and long duration also it is there, 1 to 7 years. Now what could be the anticipated adverse situation? If interest rate rises, the price of a bond, what happens to the price of a bond?
Falls.
Decreases.
Falls. And we have also talked that longer the maturity, more will be the fall. Is it or not? So this anticipated adverse situation is when the interest rate is expected to rise. So what will happen? All bond prices will go down. So in that case, if you are maintaining the maculous duration lower, the lowest part is 3 years, then the loss will be more. So that's why SEBI has allowed you can shorten the duration. That means 1 year कर दो आपको, क्योंकि the loss will be less. Same way if you look at it here also, it is 4 to 7 years. But again in an anticipated adverse situation, that means when the interest rate is increasing, it can be between 1 to 7 years. So long duration fund more than 7 years, dynamic, there's no duration here. Corporate bond fund. So this was based on the duration. The second part is based on the type of security. In a corporate bond fund, 80% and above money has to be invested in AA and above rated paper. Credit risk fund, 65% has to be invested minimum in AA and below rated paper. Banking and PSU fund, 80% of money in a banking and PSU debt. Guild fund, 80% money in a government securities. And you've got another guild fund with a 10-year constant duration also. Then you have got floater funds. Money will be invested in those debt securities which is giving you a floating rate of interest. So this was all about debt and equity.
So could you show the last slide, please, just for a second?
Which one? This one? This one?
This one, yeah. Thank you.
क्लैरिटी आपकी देखो सिर्फ एक ही बात पे होनी चाहिए, प्लीज ऑल ऑफ यू, कि बॉस मुझे डेट किसको देना, इक्विटी किसको देना, कब देना, ये सब बात. इज इट क्लियर? और डेट के केस में खास करके एज आई टोल्ड यू, बिकॉज रिस्क इज मैक्सिमम इन शॉर्ट टर्म, देयर यू हैव टू लुक एट द बॉस व्हेन माय क्लाइंट वांट्स मनी आई शुड बी मैचिंग विद द राइट टाइम. ठीक है ना? आप लोग जाते होगे रेस्टोरेंट में, देखते होगे वहां पे बनता है आपको, बॉम्बे में दिखा है मैंने, पता नहीं, आई डोंट नो अबाउट दिस, डोसा बनता है. एंड आई हैव सीन, पता है कितना बड़ा बड़ा डोसा, इतना बड़ा बड़ा भी डोसा होता है. तो भाई आप सारे डोसा ही है, बट what you can eat only you will take it. Now same thing in debt. Now let's talk about conservative. Just I'll finish off this part. It's a mix of debt and equity, hybrid. You can have a client who will say, boss, I want a fund where there's more of a safety and stability in return. But of course, there should be some growth also. That means he wants more of a debt and less of a equity. Conservative hybrid fund and asset allocation, you can see. Maybe your client says, I want almost equal, both. Balance. Client will say, I want more of a growth with some stability also. Aggressive. Maybe your client says, boss, let it leave to the fund manager. In whichever asset, whatever proportion he wants. Dynamic asset allocation. In a dynamic asset allocation, the fund manager can have exposure in any asset from 0 to 100%. It can be 100% equity, it can be 100% debt, or it can be in any proportion. So you've got different type of funds. Then you have got multi-asset allocation, minimum 10% in each of the assets. Then you have got arbitrage fund and equity saving. Please देखिए arbitrage के दो uses होते हैं. एक to capture the upside gain, and the other one is to protect the downside risk, which is called hedging. So in an arbitrage fund, you are trying to take the arbitrage opportunities. Whereas in an equity saving also, there is an arbitrage. But here it is used to protect the downside risk. Is it clear? And from the name of the scheme itself, it is equity saving. That means in the cash market, if the fund manager feels equity price is going to go down, he will take a sell position in the derivative market. Is it clear? To hedge the risk. तो आपको अलग-अलग तरह के फंड है. Then you have got a solution oriented fund. So just I will take one more slide. That's all. Retirement. But here the rule is very simple. There has to be minimum 5 years lock-in or till the person attains the retirement age. Then you have got children fund for the benefit of children. Same. Lock-in will be 5 years or till the child attains the majority, that is 18 years. So already we are 7. So we are going to finish. Please keep asking question. Any question by anybody? और कल मैं please again all of you pay attention. I will keep asking you question about the past classes. Be ready. I will ask to anybody. And please don't get fearful. देखो एक सुना है ना आपने डायलॉग, जो डर गया समझो
मर गया.
डरना मना है और डर के आगे
जीत है सर.
तो फिर देखो आप. So please don't be fearful, even if you are not able to answer it. This will help you to evaluate yourself. What is your understanding or how much you can retain? So the objective of revising, I mean going back again. So I can ask anybody any question. So this will test you. That's all. Don't get fearful कि boss मैं जवाब नहीं दे पाया. But again, it is a self-evaluation for each one of you. Whether you are moving on track or not. Is it clear? Have you understood the concept or not? If not, please keep on asking. So anybody has got any question? Anybody? सबको क्लास खत्म करवाने की जल्दी है, तो इसलिए सब गर्दन हिला रहे हैं. चलो ठीक है, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू वेट, कीप यू वेटिंग. सो ऑल द बेस्ट, गुड लक. टुमारो अगेन वी आर गोइंग टू मीट एट 4. And please, all of you log in by 3:50. Let's not waste time. And by 4, we are going to start the class straight away. Is it clear? Please, all of you log in by 3:50. And by 4, all of you should be present before your laptop or desktop. So thanks to all of you. Take care. God bless.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless all of you.
Thank you, sir.